got ahead of the op at least, so damage will be done. But there's still 3 more players waiting for him. Spike in Forsaken's possession at least. And now I've ran out of positives.
Yeah. He was trying to pull a rotation with the TP, but nobody never left that B site. It's going to get a free duel, though. It's starting to get a little bit messy for the side of EDG. They've given up a couple of kills, not quite knowing where he is. The time is the issue, and more so, nobody on the flank. Like, to get anything here, you'd need pretty much a miracle once more. Just trying to find a safe place to plant, and that doesn't exist. Nobody's going to be coming in from behind. Chicho with the wall bang, and it will be EDG extending that lead even further.
It's 5 in a row. The timeline looking convincing. They've come up with solutions, and this comp gives them so much to fall back on. The ult out of Concon, you can see why you want him alive late into the round, even as he gets rezzed back up, immediately lobs out the knife, and finds exactly where that final player is, nullifying any potential for Forsaken to catch them off guard. With 6-4 on the scoreline, that's when PaperX might even have called a pause coming into this round, but they haven't. And there's a lot of weaknesses for them. This is again going to be somewhere they hope to just blitz. The wall up to block out the dart is beautiful, but they still have to swing in to Smoggy. And that's where the real trouble begins.
Yeah. Oh! Okay.
Something you gotta.
Anything! And the bait across as well from Munier's gorgeous. Finally, they managed to deal with him. Something down. And now they've gone for the TP, but this is somewhat of a ruse. They've left Moniette behind. It seems like it's being watched for, but the other 2 players looking to try and head potentially into the A site. Only 1 defender and a second slowly being pulled in.
2 smokes for Mindfreak. Could lob one on A to cause problems. You can see there's one in play, but now the second comes down, and it's buying space for Moniette to close the distance. Stinger in hand. This is a perfect fight for him to take, but he goes into the smoke at the wrong moment. 2 players ready and waiting. Molly through. That'll buy time, buy space that they now need. The advantage sits with EDG. A little tag onto Mindfreak. It's okay. Smoke down as he repositions, but ultimately a kill needs to be found before EDG can amp back up to fight through. They're inside the cage, the flash is good, and the kills are even better. Absolutely gorgeous. Another late round where you see the benefit of having Concon online.
Yes.
That flash was clinical.
Yeah, his utility's been fantastic. Again, showing depth to what is a player we know can run around and outgun pretty much anyone within the scene, but he's been in the setup. This is just, it's just so absurd. And then a second one, it just shouldn't be allowed. They must be happy they killed him through the smoke, because otherwise I think something might have just aced that round.
Yeah, with the way he was going, to headshot someone with a sheriff, double blast packed up in the air. That's just outrageous carry on from this man, but it is par for the course. At the same time, despite some nice shots from something and a decent map overall, it's still 7-4. The advantage now doubled up on in this final round for EDG. They've claimed an orb and an orbital strike on the back of it. Chichu will have that to work with if they end up in a post plant, but hold on to fight. They're rushing it down, trying to take these duels. In fact, it's Chichu who has the ult that's now left on 30 HP. Panic plays it just to buy a little bit more time so they can fight on the side, and it works with Concon hitting a shot and Chichu doing the same. There's no long push anymore. Chichu, oh my god, those bullets are coming so damn close, but they think he's dropped out now. They spammed too much for him to still be in position, and he might just get the jump. The second player behind him as well. They're going to emerge from the smoke. Chichu, the sacrificial lamb, and a trade through the smoke, and he almost doubles up on it. Concon is shut down though, and we're into a 2v2.
Managed to dodge it. He's always been a snake in the grass. He gets the timing perfectly online. The tags on both sides. It goes to the repeat to get Smoggy to kill. From a 4-1 down deficit, it has been a complete turnaround for EDG. 8 rounds now onto the board, and what a ridiculous resurgence it's been from the Chinese powerhouse.
Almost.
Well, Haodong has been impressive, sneaking his way behind these players again and again. It's time for us to toss it over to the analyst desk to see what they make of EDG's chances.
I mean, EDG's chances looking pretty solid so far if they keep playing like that, Kakuka.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's been so many like turnarounds. We were seeing how they were interpreting the map, how they have all these ways of acquiring that information, but they were committing the same mistake that they were making in the previous map, and it's leaving Paper Rex with a lot of space. Then they will take it, they will use it against you, and that is the reason why they were getting on those rounds. But Howdong, as we were saying, and as Mitch was highlighting, he was key to the turnaround, not only because of the clutches that he won, is actually being at the exact right moment, right time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see numerous moments him holding down for the showers control, making it really awkward for Paper Rex to try and go for that big A exec. It was working all the time in the first half, basically, the first half of the first half. And he was just an absolute monster. I mean, an absolute difference maker. But got to give credit to EDG with the right adaptations in terms of their macro ideas. They decided to push up the aggressive op into angles, out through showers, out through B-long at the same time. Howdong was contributing, doing his piece as well. Really good moves by EDG to recognize what those weaknesses were. And they've set themselves up now with an 8-4. I mean, after losing a pistol round, it's almost unheard of. This is a dominant half by EDG. They're going to be going into the next now, almost setting themselves up for that map 3.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other side, we saw a Paper Rex that started up super well, very aggressive, you know, a lot of good utility, you know, the shotguns, everything was going
doing
a little bit
fun. Doing the things that we know them to do.
Exactly, the things that Paper Rex like. But I didn't see the effect that probably the Reyna was intended to have, so I need to see what they intend to do with the defense. Are they going to be extra aggressive? Are they going to put a lot of pressure onto EDG? And if that happens, what is going to be EDG's response? I think that, again, we look at Howdong on the Cypher. If those pushes are going to come in, of course, we need to keep a close eye on our flanks.
Yeah, and, you know, listen, I'm with you. I want to see some aggression. I want to see Paper Rex just come out of the gate, punch him in the mouth, see what happens.
I think you will.
You have to. I feel like you have to at this point. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself here. We'll see what Paper Rex can pull up together. 2 rounds, they're right back in this bad boy. But EDG don't want to give him that time of day. Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
Well, GP wants to see Paper Rex come hot out of the gates, punch him right in the mouth. That's what he said, Tom. Are you expecting to see that face after such a devastating first half?
Yes.
They're getting it anyways.
Yes. Just immediately, B Short is being pressured. Going to see some utility faked out, but again, they're just going to go running back. The thing is, the slow pace of EDG in the last map might just run true again. Being patient, try and garner extra space. There is a nade available for Munyet to slow them down, but once more, it's not just going to be the immediate run-through. Almost a complete opposite to what we saw from Paper Rex.
EDG are extremely patient, perhaps knowing that if you leave that clock run down low enough, Paper Rex are going to get aggressive. Now, TP is heard towards A, steps are made, but the flank is on the way. Trap is watching it. That's something for them to work on. And the trap is destroyed. Here comes a quick triple blitz on the back as the players desperately hold on to control over the site. Reinforcements are on their way and just now arriving, but a quick switch from EDG sends them towards the defenders.
Let's
somehow stand strong inside of Lambs. 4 kills on the Frenzy. And another pistol round for Paper Rex. Normally, Tom, this is where we'd be getting the violins out for EDG. They lost the pistol to start with. They lost the 3rd round to follow up. And now they lost another pistol. For most teams, that's a death sentence. Yet here they are with a 3-round lead.
Yeah, I think Forsaken, just with his frenzy, unable to isolate the jewels with him, and he's just able to take everything over the line. A much-needed pistol for the side of Paper Rex if they are going to have an opportunity to try and turn this one back around. We've seen EDG, though, do an awful lot with very, very little. But this would have to be one of the best of them.
Well, that pretty much puts a pin in that one. He still has another bullet. That was a collat to start us off. A little bit of a longer reload now that he's fired both shots. But he's right back into the fight just in time to catch Concon. The ace, well, it's not going to happen. Device swept in to steal it away. But you know what? Forsaken's already got his ult online, so he doesn't really need any more kills. Might as well give them to someone else. I don't know. Munyet with a showstopper? That sounds good, but that's only his first orb to find. 8-6.
He has done that in both halves. Forsaken has gone in with his ult in round 3, which kind of makes you think maybe he hasn't done that much else for the rest. Because if you're getting enough kills to get your ult in round 3 twice. But keeping these rounds nice and clean, and again, it's a flawless round to put Paper Rex in a pretty decent spot. I am looking at their 2 duelist players both having a judge for this round. I feel like if you're on the EDG side, you've got to be so damn careful. Now, they normally are. I'll give them that. They're normally very slow, methodical, using their utility. But I feel like avoiding both of these players is not going to be easy.
No, most certainly not. Just taking a look at EDG
What a
real quick
common
as well.
sprite, yeah.
Damage doesn't even need to be done to Chichu before he goes down to that outlaw of Forsaken. I think that's something that we'll see manifesting in how this round breeds. That Smoker can't be the one that's going out to take those wide approaches, to check angles. Instead, it's got to be much slower, relying on things like your Sova drone, your recons to clear those angles. Forsaken is posted up and ready to duel, same spot as before. And for EDG, that could spell a disaster. Add to that, as you said, Tom, they've got to be careful of those judges. Mind Freak is not being caught, and so they'll look for the B site control, and that's when they walk straight into Munyet. He's crept down behind the box and pops up for a nasty surprise.
Yeah, doesn't even need to switch out the weapon, really. Will eventually do it and be able to escape as well, but Forsaken has been lost. Munyet's done well.
ये जरूरत नहीं था मरना चाहिए था
Reaction either. There has been a push through. I'm just looking at the position that's been taken from Howdong. He's completely in behind. They've left a gap, and that gap has been exploited. Such good positioning from him. A quick rotation looking to come back through from the other side. Howdong taking as much space as possible, but this battle between Mind Freak and Chichu is going to be everything. And again, Chichu just getting in behind his opponent. The advantage swinging into the favor of this attacking side. Sure, it's a bonus, but for a second it was looking really dangerous.
Dangerous indeed, yeah. In fact, it looked like they had it more or less locked down. But again, it's Howdong to bail EDG. On this map, he has just been spectacular. In Spectre form almost. Never are these players able to actually take the fight on the open, take the duel against him. He's always slipping behind. 9-6, and it's PaperX slipping behind now. 3 rounds down.
A nice recovery from them. And again, it's been mentioned, you're looking at Howdong on the leaderboard, you're like, oh, he's having an all right game, but his impact has been paramount. Like the amount of space he took there, cleared out Something's aggressive position, because that was the thing. Something was cleverly sort of moving himself further and further forward, sort of cause issues for his opponents, but then gets caught from the one spot that wasn't really checked on. 9-6. Still plenty available for this round. You're going to see the operator in onto Something. Judge still online.
Just line up that.
Well, making sure that there's nobody in this aggressive position. Now the Prowler is going to give things away. Nobody is going to wait in the TP. I don't know how long this is going to stay for.
Well, I mean, nobody's had a tough game. Last map, I'm thinking he had a 4K, a 3K, a 2K. Right now, he has 1K. 1 kill on the board for this whole half. And he was bailing them out of these situations that now Howdong is taking up that mantle. Again, 9-6 in the lead. Couldn't give a damn if you have 0 kills. But for nobody, I want to see him bring that back out. We know it's in the tank at some stage. For PaperX right now, as we said, there's Munyet on the Judge. They're going to be respecting that because we've seen it last round. It had huge impact. He was able to dominate control over this section of the map. EDG must have another idea on how to play that part. And in fact, they go towards B. They see all this utility come their way. And they're starting to maneuver their way back towards the A site, which has thinned out slightly.
The reckoning, though, we're getting down to the last 30 seconds. Going in this direction will leave them with not a lot really to play with. They're going to try and just almost run their way through it, but they're slowly being revealed every single time they try and make their way through. Finally, the reckoning will fade, but Mind Freak now in position. A cove for Forsaken to try and almost fight within, and they are falling like flies. Forsaken winning every battle, leaving just Chichu remaining. 8 seconds, and 5 members of the other team still to find. There is no shot that he gets anything from this one, and finally, well, Munyet will fall, but Divide immediate on the reaction.
Yeah, you know, initially I thought Forsaken's probably put out the reckoning because when they push on the side of EDG, they're like, well, first of all, information. Secondly, when they push, they're likely to be blitzing in towards that position. Utility coming his way if Chichu gets an orbital strike, but Smoggy could be on you in a second. In fact, I think he just put it out so he could farm up some orbs and pick it up. He's almost halfway to having it online again. Just a lights-out performance from Forsaken, but still 2 rounds behind. EDG, weaker weapons. This is where they've been scary at times, and an orbital strike online, as we mentioned. So still a lot of danger if this attack side can find ground.
Forsaken looking for a little bit of early control, and the same from Something. Starting to really lock down avenues of the map. You can see Divide doing the same on the extremities of B. It does does leave a little bit more of an opening, but the thing is, Munyet has completely switched up his position. He was playing the judge over the last couple of rounds. The flash is sublime once again.
Flash
Kong,
आता है भाई।
unfortunately, unable to really
Light up
capitalize on it.
How Dong again!
अभी क्या
How does he keep doing this? It's unfathomable. This is a classic lurk. I've seen Nats do that, but he had an orb and a wall. Oh, come on! Again and again, 2 kills for Howdong, and I said they've been scary. They're goddamn terrifying. Forsaken. He's held this position with a frenzy, but that was against pistols.
They know
And
where
he is completely surrounded. Nice spray. It was Divide to finish it off, but Howdong has a 3rd kill. He started this with a goddamn classic.
One enemy remaining.
Wow. And there's only 1 man left. It's going to be
What? Bro, mind trick. तीसरी बार पकड़ा गया लड़का।
Absolutely no sense.
What's going on?
A man switch over to. I like the representation you use. We've seen Nats do that. Nats a great cipher. I don't know if we've seen him just manage to walk his way down mid. And that was the thing, that was some initial pressure there from Forsaken, really watching for this spot, but he just catches a timing every single time. It is absurd how well this man is playing. Well, maybe a little bit of frustration for Paperex. 10-7 in the lead, and while I hope that is a leather-bound notepad, otherwise it's going to be snapped in two.
You know, it's an interesting contrast as well, because if we think back to half number 1, the real issue that Paperex ran into, again, I think they got lucky with some of the rounds where Munyet was able to bypass the utility. It could have been an opening pick for the side. But one of the main challenges that they had was playing up against Howdong's utility, was having this guy consistently being able to put through these traps that are slowing you down, and it was the A site that he was holding onto control of. And how poetic that when they swap sides, it's Howdong coming through and going, yeah, you know, you should probably play the agent I'm playing, guys, because I can just walk up behind you if you don't. It's unreal how much space he's found. He did it on A bat. He now has done it on Lamps with a classic and nothing else. I don't know what else he can do to surprise his opponents, but I'm certain that he will be doing more of this because the consistency is off the charts.
पिक का गलती था पूरा।
Yeah, and it's got to be
दोनों राउंड,
infuriating
एक
for
में
Paperex.
शावर
A
छोड़ा,
walk
एक में
into the
शॉट
map
छोड़ दिया पूरा।
with your opponents on a weak buy, and you lose to 1 man in his classic. A free gun, by the way. I think it was his spacing more than anything else. Look at the aggression, though. This is the W gaming we were expecting to see, an immediate push all the way down B long, but again, it doesn't really come with any rewards. Having to fall back and use and burn a lot of utility in the early stages of these rounds, and they've won neither of those fights. Kunk, he's got both in his locker, just takes down the duo of Paperex, but it does turn out it was a trio. There was a 3rd piece to the puzzle, unfortunately. Munyet is now just sat in a corner with a judge.
And the very best of luck to him in the battle to come, because by the looks of it, that judge is going to have to find 5 players. EDG are in a 5v3 with no intentions of being picked off individually. They're moving together.
Yes, bro, I'm live.
Their way into this site. There's a drone, and that's really the...
Hello.
Giving him a gap.
Oh, hold on. He might actually be in the position to get this. They've spotted him, and only one. Perfect for me.
Bro, play the match on Twitch.
I like the idea from Forsaken. Just create a little pocket in the corner.
Play the match on Twitch.
I think the fact that he shoots at Smoggy somewhat gives the game away.
Hello, can you hear me?
What, play the match on Twitch? What do you mean by that?
I mean, so that we are on the same page.
I'm watching it on your screen. Why you have lag?
No, I don't have lag. But still, wait, I'm thinking. Maybe there will be some lag.
Just got to try and hold on to this rifle.
Bro, I'm literally busy with the
What are you?
I don't know if they're going to have
I'm
much
busy with
deployment
the
in the next round.
Oh
Luckily,
my
both
God.
teams
You can't
has been able to do a lot with these low buys. So
bring her to one
we'll
trip
get
though.
something
What
magical
is
once
Bro, you
again,
shut
but
the fuck up.
it
Okay,
is
wait.
a stage now where Paperex need it.
Loser. Fucking loser you are.
Well, EDG with 11 on the board, a 4-round lead, and 2 rounds to close this one out. Bring us to split. And it'd be a nice swap over. You know, the shoes on the other foot. As EDG lost 13-8, PaperX might be losing 13-7. You said they invested everything in that last one. They do come out of it with still 2 ultimates to work with.
Like the
When
prodigy guy said,
will have something, and you know,
another guy
their
who was
teammate, but they'll
extremely
have those
good.
ults to
Yeah,
work with.
this guy is that guy.
A couple rifles, stingers there.
They're going to rush
Tom,
mid.
it's not looking great, but the element of surprise is the best thing that they can hope to rely on.
It's not surprising at this point, though. They haven't had much more in terms of depth. Mindfreak's going to get
Mindfreak.
how ready EDG were. I know you've got a slightly lower buy. I wonder what you're going to do, lads. I wonder if you're going to push something. Just the cam out immediately from Howdong to get his team ready, and then everybody, the firing squad, just watching.
Pricks lost this map.
Easy round for EDG, and sure, something's still standing. He's gone as well. Smoggy winning that fight out once again. And what can Devi really hope to achieve here? Left with a close range SMG and 4 full HP players.
Well, GB wanted to see PaperX on this defense come out with aggression, just punch him in the mouth, but they ended out more like Aldo. 5 chances now for EDG to close this map.
Turns out they had grills. That's what it is. They punched them in the mouth and it's left an indent in their own hand.
And this is exactly what you're talking about, Tom. Like at this stage of the game, you're just like, oh, are PaperX pushing? Oh, wow, I'm shocked. And
No way!
Protocols are there. They're ready. EDG a step ahead on Bind. This was a map that we had some question marks around. Playing against PaperX on this, I would say, before this, it's never easy. But EDG are certainly trying to make that look like a foolish statement.
Oh, especially you lose both pistols. And you're 12-7.
That's
a damn good showing. And they've had some rounds as well where something popped off and they've managed to weather that storm. It's something that many teams have tried and many teams have failed. And within their matchup versus PaperX, it's never gone their way. I believe they've had a map before in the past, but I think if they head on to Split, it's been one of their best maps within the region, although it's been great for PaperX. It is the perfect place to end it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Already we're seeing Forsaken with an Odin, so Mitch already believes.
If there was a round to win, Tom, this would be the one. You know, normally on this map, you're going to have traps to play off, but there's not going to be those easy reveals to play around. Instead, it's more to do with spamming. And, well, you're going to have to get the head of Smoggy, and he's crouched down behind that box. It's not too easy for now. The suppressive fire really about to be tested, as if you fire away, that rocket will come right back at you, but somehow the rocket's done nothing. The show not stopped just yet. With damage onto Mindfreak, there's still a showstopper on one yet, once this ult fades. I like the spams, I like the attempt, but nothing's been found.
Oh, they've got Nightfall as well, but Smoggy's managed to dodge it, needs to hit the shot, and won't be able to. In fact, Kong goes down instead. An advantage at this stage for PaperX, but they still have to get back into the site. Chichu sprinting around, hasn't been isolated yet. It's left down to just one man, but that one man is Howdong. Getting that little bit more aggressive. He's using his opponent's util, even has the cam, and it's just about going to reveal. Knows that they're no longer on this diffuser, but desperately needs a kill, and he isn't going to be able to find it. That diffuser will come through, and PaperX will live to fight another day.
Yeah, perfect time to the diffuse showdown.
Change his name on that hood, take out the last 4 letters. All you need to say is how. Every time this guy's on the screen, it's just unbelievable. But this time, they put a stop to him. That's the first out of 5. 4 more needed. The side of PaperX. And look, you have the showstopper there buying them the kill. Good
That wasn't
play by
meant for
Forsaken.
Kong, by the way.
No, it wasn't. It was the player he'd already spotted, who was already dead at that point. It could have been a double kill. 4 in a row. Chichu's about to have ult online as well, but look how much PaperX have in this round.
All it takes is one, but...
One eco from EDG, is it? That's all it takes.
Maybe. Munyet back on the judge, but that's not really been too much of a detriment for him. And I actually feel like it's fairly important for PaperX to clear out that cam. Every piece of utility Howdong's had has had impact. Instead, though, it's the slow walk up. Looking to potentially get that orb online, as you mentioned, 1 away. I don't think there should be much. They'll be able to stop it at this stage. This is such a disgusting position for Munyet to play. I don't know how Howdong survives this time. Surely he should be dead to a right. He hard checks him! He's He's prepared every single moment.
Sad
He's got
man.
that advantage again. Something he's going to try and make a hero play. Howdon goes running through and dies to his own teammate. If he made it through, you bet he probably gets a couple. And Devi holding the line on the other side. It's now a wraparound for EDG. Look where they are. 30 seconds left. They expected the B site to be open at this stage. They have to get the kill onto Devi, and he is low.
Put Chichu down. Devi really
Enemy remaining.
has it all stacked up once the spike falls. 16-second left. No chance for that to go their way on EDG's side. They have 3 more chances now
Hello.
to push this across the line.
What
We're
busy
starting to
you
see
are.
the fastest
Can't
Paper
bring her
Rex
to one
come
trip,
online.
bro.
This is what we were hoping for. But this guy
Fucking
just
noob.
Look at this.
So-
He gets orbital strikes by the opponent. He's
Hello.
like,
Bro,
I think that might
why
have
is
been
there
in
that's
that
easy for
moment.
us to
Yeah,
say.
in that
Oh,
moment,
okay,
he's
got
like,
it. Yeah. It's
Why-
playing on your.
If he had a cam
There was
where
that
our observer
background
was, he
noise
would've
playing. He
known.
was playing from your stream, lol.
But he also wouldn't have been able to
Yeah,
move.
Freddy would have had to jump and check it real quick.
One more thing I was gonna say.
But yeah, the double orbital strikes, they don't happen too often.
Bro, wait, bro. We just had some little fight. Now it's fine.
Bro, you keep on fighting.
No, that days only. That only I'm talking about.
Bro, shut up, bro.
You
You
After
all
that-
will only give me the reasons. She was not ready, and we are not ready, and we had a fight, that and this.
Battles have gone the way of EDG. Mind Freak needs a little more, but it's only going to be the one.
Hello.
Something
Bro, why do you
forsaken.
go mute?
2 players,
Hello.
2 names that strike fear into the hearts of any opponent. Oh!
Are you watching this
Get the
match?
ball back through, but is getting dangerously close to a reload. I think he's even going to have to just fall back, give this one up for now.
Well, 10
Bro,
bullets
I
left,
can't
right? He
hear
had to
you.
pop that reload. But he's ready to fight again now. 100 bullets primed and ready. Something on the other side of the map as the plan comes down. He's going to take a while to get there, but Forsaken's not willing to give up the space. Now he's being spotted as he sees the cam turn towards, and this might be the end for him. He's being revealed, but good damage. That's deterred Howdong from actually taking the peak.
Finished
It's allowed
yours.
for that
Randiro, na.
What
gated. The
Randiro,
swing
na?
is good
Oh
for
my
something, and
God,
he's
from
spotted
that
both
time,
players.
Randiro, na.
Noob, Nathan, fucking noob.
It's not looking good.
Bro, once little clutch I couldn't do. You're crying so much. Happened.
No, class.
See, now you think PRX something will clutch. We'll see. If he clutches this,
What?
see, he lost exactly. That
Bro.
means in life, even they lose
Turn
clutches.
off your
Everyone
thing.
in life, everyone,
No,
when you clutch something, you lose.
They tried to...
What, bro? Lost money, lost trip, lost girl. What? How much you going to lose, bro?
Oh, wow, bro, you are giving me more depression. Bye, bro. Kink. This is enough for me, Valor, for today. Bro, what is your rank, by the way? You're immortal, no? Noobra.
I'm not playing only.
I am also immortal. What is this? No difference you're saying that means between us.
Oh, when were you noob? You are true only, no?
Ah. Funny. Today I was carrying bad, bro. Can you believe it? Oh my god. I was teaching him how to play in a diamond lobby.
Sop exam 1. Bro, because of you, bro, me and Soumya can't meet because of you.
Bro,
Only because of you.
don't give other people for your mistakes. See now, so much happened in my life. Do you think I blame anyone?
Yeah,
I blame myself. That is how you should go about
me
life.
too.
You are also blaming me, yeah. Fuck, bro. Life, no? How one day so good it'll be.
What is
going.
your job profile?
I'm a knowledge management.
So
intern.
that job only you're saying.
Yes.
Nice. Take me also in that.
Yeah, once I get in for sure.
You are in only, or what training?
Right now, kind of training internish. So today, all the friends from work are coming. I made few friends there. Nashadis only, bro. All want to take tokes. I told, okay, come home. I'll give you tokes.
Wow, bro. Nice. You do that for strangers. Can't come to one trip for a friend. Nice.
You
Fuck you.
bastard. How is that?
Correct.
They're coming home to take tokes. You'll come home to take tokes. Come no, fucker.
Bro, I was going to come to Bangalore. You said don't come. That's why I didn't come.
Game, bro. 1 minute, I'll come back. Have fun, bro. Watch party.
Go, bro. Fight with Kevar.
Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todos mis gatos derrapando hasta en los coches, pita encendida, todos de roce, la vivienda activa para el perreo hasta las 12. 1, 2, 3 con la nalga para el piso, la bebé anda sola, nadie le da permiso, prende y pasa, lo seguimos en casa, que yo tengo un par de amigos pa' quemar la salsa. Oye, bandida, bebé tú eres una atrevida, cuando baila está encendida, le pide al DJ que ponga el chori con la blum, que grosería. Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todos los míos, estamos puestos para leer. Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todos los míos, estamos puestos para leer. Con Yori, dimensiones, con el Yori en la casa. Salgo de noche con todos los míos, estamos puestos para leer.
EDG managed to pick up a massive victory, forcing the map 3 as Bind goes their way. What a series we have been treated to, folks. Of course, Golden Boy here alongside Kukuka and Bren as we break it down and we get ready for map 3. Brent, just what a great match we've been treated to here so far, bud.
EDG, I mean, listen, they tried to get punched in the face. They tried it. They absorbed it. They ducked it.
No, but PaperX did punch him in the face a few times. They got some iron jaws, man.
Listen, that was a dominant game from EDG, even though the stats, the scoreline doesn't really suggest that. Our stats producer, Oasis, was saying, like, listen, I think it was 56% of 4v5s being won by EDG.
And also,
unheard of statistic.
And both pistols went on the side of PaperX.
Yeah.
On paper, everything should have gone for PaperX, but EDG managed to just be one step ahead. I think that their IGL has to be crowned for that.
Yeah, and you know, actually, we do have a Verizon high-speed moment of that map, and we're going to give it to something, obviously. It gives us an opportunity to talk about just the impact that he makes, but it's wild that you see something pull off just absurd clips like this, and even then, it just was not enough to get them over the finish line, Kukuka, which means that EDG just shut them down in certain areas.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not only about the shooting. I think that the understanding that EDG ended up having of the map, how they positioned the operator and the pressure that they were getting with it.
कुछ टाइम देखना है ना, कितना फास्ट मारा वो देखना मुझे. Slow क्यों कर रहा है भाई?
Despite the fancy shots, I do feel like PaperX kind of shot themselves in the foot by picking up the attack side up so much. And they do it a lot. It's like something style.
That happened last map too.
Yeah, they try and do it to slow down the tempo, and because they condition super hard, pacey play styles, and then they slow it all the way down. And it can work, don't get me wrong, but they were really struggling to find ways to entry into sites when something had an operator, because they just couldn't find the pace increase when they needed it. He was doing his best, but it was really, really struggling. But for EDG, I think they had a wonderful macro understanding of how to play that map. I mean, extremity control is all the rage on Bind. It has been since it came out.
Yep.
Like controlling showers, controlling B-long. If you have control of those areas, you're going to do wonders. And Haodong was just the pivotal player for all of it.
Totally. The positionings that he was finding, we were mentioning how the lurks and controlling them lurks was going to be important. But he took it to another level. In so many rounds, we saw him just taking up all that space. Even though EDG is a very slow team, we see them waiting at the beginning of every round, waiting to see when PaperX is going to be the PaperX that we know and is going to be extra aggressive. They were also prepared for that. But then, as I said, Haodong finding the very specific timing into how to grant all that space, grant the kill, and also help the rest of his teammates being like, yeah, this is safe, I get the ult, safe, we keep going.
The lurks were so wild. It also just goes to show you, right, how, yes, it is always going to be about the sum of all of your parts, but when you have someone like that who's really making individual plays, taking those risks, taking that space, and just being heads up, that is scary to have to play against, and PaperX learned today.
I mean, it's crazy as well. I mean, they won this basically 4v5 as well. I mean, nobody had one kill for most of the map. He only got a second one towards the tail end, and yeah, his util was good. I will give him credits, I think, as well. I mean, he had the drone for the post plant in a lot of scenarios, getting good value at attacks. But I mean, it was a large ask, I think, of the rest of the EDG squad when they were losing basically in that metric. When we associate with China as a region as they've always got that firepower, they kind of were losing those first duels, yet they were still salvaging the situations, which I thought were fantastic. And of course, you know, we have to big up Howdon because it's just him, hyper intelligent lurk timings. Don't even tell me. I don't understand how he was able to just find these players. I think this is when there was a judge in the close corner. And
this is just beautiful. This is the last round. We even see that he tags on the map to see. Oh, I saw me.
Oh, that was it. Man, what a heads up.
Happened. But it's just so damn away from him to be able to find those timings.
TP and shot at it.
Yeah, he shot his teammate.
I thought it was his teammate. It's okay. There was a lot on the line.
My guy's dialed in. He's dialed in. You know, everyone's a target. Doesn't matter who it is.
We cut the clip too short. That was when he died the Chichu's all as well. But, I mean, it was just a strange map. But it means we get split now, which I'm really looking forward to because this is a map where PaperX, I have a love-hate relationship with it because they really do embody, you know, you get shot, you die, running this triple duelist variant. But it just doesn't have legs for me, I think, in the long run. So I'm curious if they're going to run the exact same comp again this time around. They showed that they're willing to change stuff up. They changed their bind comp back to an earlier version. So they may change things up even further for split. They have that option available.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe they didn't go that deep. Maybe it could be the Euro, and it's actually going to be back as the triple duelist, and no changes, if I'm not mistaken, on the side of EDG. I mean, now that nobody is on the sky, maybe he's going to
PaperX double sentinel.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm really
double sentinel, sorry, double. Because if you only just watched the T1 game when they were running this comp, it looked like they were just banging their heads against the A site on the attack side. They were going for the 5-man, 4-man hits over and over again. They threw nuance into it, actually, when they played against Gen G. And one of the things that EDG are going to have to answer is actually keeping up with that tempo control. Like, making sure that they can always keep it at the back of their minds that PaperX could be in really deep positions really quite quickly. And especially because they're not running like a typical Sentinel, they don't have trips to try and slow down the big hits. It's going to be a difficult ask for them, so I'm putting a lot of attention on that.
Yeah, exactly. And 3 out of 3 maps, PaperX is going to be starting on the attack. On the first one, it was definitely what gave them the win and the room to have that comfort. But on the second one, it wasn't like that. So let's see what this map takes us.
Can Edward finally game his way to a victory over PaperX, or will W Gaming reign supreme? Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
That's silly.
Well, Tom, it's time to find out the answer to that question. EDG, they've tried 3 times, they've failed 3 times, but the 4th, it's looking better. We're on map 3.
It's in the name, though. W Gaming. Like, they don't lose. That's the problem. I don't know. The thing is, this composition is one we've now seen a couple of times. The surprise factor is gone. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to deal with it. It's very, very difficult. And these are also agents where I think, like, one of the best jets in the world. Forsaken, personal opinion, best Euro in the world. It's so difficult to play against the chaos that is created by this side. And that's the storm that's going to have to be weathered. The fun thing about this as well is both teams have started on their better side of this map. So it's going to be, the first half might actually decide it.
Well, that's it. For PaperX, they'll be happy with this attacking side. They're already set up to move towards this A site. You can see there's a wall in play. It's popped up, but the main thing drawing my eye is Forsaken. He's got himself a TP moving right up close where he's already looking to get in towards screens, and well, some troubles brewing. He's got the first, but the site control stays to EDG. They've got the spike, and Khan, he's only good for 2, but it might be enough. The advantage is theirs, and a pick needs to be found soon from the side of PaperX. Leaving Mindfreak alone, though, isn't the best of looks. That spike's down on site, and he's got 3 players to pick off. No from the shadows either.
यार एल्बो ही तुमको कंट्रोल लेना तुमने एल्बो छोड़ के सब क्लियर कर दिया और एल्बो ही फाइट में हार गए फिर रेस चला गया साइड में मार दिया
hoping to try and find an isolated job that isn't going to be happening. EDG, they're off the mark. And then doing well as well. I like the fact that you almost see the PaperX doing this blitz player. I think they almost expected there to be no one on site because they had multiple players trying to fight through in towards screens, and it almost seemed like they forgot that Khan could be and was within the site. So off to a flyer. Good start from individually. He's had, well, not the best first map, an okay second. If this is where Khan comes online, they'll be happy.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, right? And you can understand why they don't expect him to be on site, giving him that opportunity. They saw 2 players' screens. Those players seem to be panicking to get back in. how Dong headbutt the nade to start this one
एक
off.
डीगल
He's staying
वो भी
close.
वाइपर पे नहीं
Fight
जेट
around
नहीं
mid,
योरू
3 players from EDG want to maintain that control, and the lurk of something is left to try and pick them off when they do. Khan walking down, but he's patient. Just wants to tuck up on the box, spotted. Nade will cover his retreat, you'd imagine. He sticks around for the kill instead, not worried about the numbers that could be rounding the corner. When he gets out, it's Smoggy that's left in the open trying to cover his retreat.
They do have to be a little bit careful here, but this is just his chance to farm. Get ever closer to that ultimate. Don't think that's the gun that something's looking for, and even just an extra player being dropped here could cause a few issues going into the next round. You can see a much more passive sort of crossfire.
Clutch incoming.
Just waiting to almost pop up that ladder to fight that one together. It's available for nobody on the rotate as well. And EDG, they'll convert, pick up a couple of the guns as well.
Yeah, it's nice. They came in with 2 pistols, I think. It's why you see Smoggy play ahead of that. He literally is covering the retreat. He can maybe pick off one with the pistol. If not, he loses a pistol. It really is not the end of the world. For EDG, I mean, a flyer of a start with 5 kills on Khan. The rifles on the side of PaperX will be facing off against what was one of the more terrifying buys that EDG pulled out. Once they've got these pistols up against rifles, their win rate has been insane. And some very important rounds as well. Mind Freak stunned up and tucked in the corner. And there's no free way for him to get out. I mean, he can use his abilities often, but not this time. There's none online, no shrouded step. And there's a one-way that's probably being held. He's just trapped for now.
Forsaken may just look to try and actually retreat and get an orb here. One off that dimensional drift. I think that's probably the scariest thing with this PaperX comp is they've got so much value when it comes to those ultimates.
मिड पे इतने लोग क्या कर रहे हैं मिड पे 3 ब्रीच रोटेट कर सकते हैं हो गया मिल गया साइड
Again, this A take, there is a quick wraparound though. They've got to be wary of nobody looking to try and come in on the flank. This is a round where as well, EDG, they can afford to take some risks with the weaponry that they've got. Munyet though, this might be a nasty surprise, but never mind. Chichu's found him, and I don't think they're going to expect nobody in the corner. No, it's half-checked as well. This is going great for EDG.
It really was, and it's back to going great. Nobody with 3 kills, and now it's just 1 standing. 10 bullets, and it's only 1 needed for Smoggy.
मार दिया डीगल.
EDG absolutely decimate PaperX in round 3, and well, Tom, I hate to say I told you so, but this is just, it's happening too often now. The value they find with pistols is frankly unreal. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, nobody had 1 kill for most of it. He finished on 2?
Kills. He finished on 2.
He finished on 2.
He's got 3 times more kills already.
Well, even that, in that round, he got more kills than the last map alone. Unbelievable. Look at this.
It's a half check as well. Like, that's the thing. I just feel like they get tunnel visioned in the lineup.
Info था यार Sky का.
Oh, Alex has just got to be so infuriating. His team put in a decent position and just maybe overextending. Now they come in, they purchased again. They're still going in for more. The dimensional drift will give them the space, but they've been given the space. You can see on the other side, EDG, nowhere near this one. I don't think Forsaken's going to go too much further than that, but with the judge in hand, he's almost just trying to play with his opponents here.
Pressure's on EDG on the way back through, and it's off EDG just that quickly. Khan, I don't know where this guy was the last 2 maps, but he certainly turned up today. 3 kills already, and well, it doesn't look too good for PaperX. You might think this is an eagle, but it's not. The weaker weapon on Forsaken, good for 2. Maybe more to be found, but nobody low. He's 90 getting another 3.
What the fuck? Oh my.
Unbelievable.
Oh, ये साला. Fucking hell, भाई. अबे क्या है इसका?
I can't believe. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. 2 kills at the judge, and then just manages to every single fight.
That literally brought a tear to my eye, Tom. I had to let that one away.
What a round, भाई. अभी तो स्प्लिट निकालना पड़ेगा, boys. क्या थ्रो किया?
Truly one of the greatest plays we've ever seen, and no surprise. PaperX is taking a pause. Alex has probably got a hole in his desk at this point. Be it in anger or celebration, who knows? And on the other side of things, EDG are just going to be left to stew in that one. A 1v5 ace to get their first round on the board.
I feel like the only appropriate thing is to replay Brand's desk from earlier.
Just shoot him in the face.
छोड़ दे bro, मुझे भी sitting में throw करना है.
I was thinking earlier in the round, like, it's really
भाई but क्या round था भाई, अबे throw नहीं भाई, क्या खेला भाई बंदा, और second भाई best hero.
That's really interesting. I don't think anybody saw that one
That's
coming.
the thing, not only a 1v5, a 1v5 ace with a judge, where they're all pushing in to cover that one angle. That's all they were worried about was elbow. They had everything else. I mean, taking your breath away. This is another level. 7 kills for Forsaken, 5 of them in the previous round. And as we come into round number 5, EDG still lead by 2, still have a decent amount of money. There's some weaknesses there, but nobody is showing up. That's something down right away. One of the duelists dealt with. Khan, you can see he's feeling confident.
Yeah, they're right back on the horse. It doesn't look like they've let that get to them whatsoever. Forsaken's been revealed by the Seekers as well. Looking for some more shenanigans, and in the 2v4, they're gonna pop the Viper's Pit. They need Forsaken to do something, and now Divide, well, it's not quite 5.
देख पहले के 2 जज किल तो वो थ्रो नहीं थे, ठीक है? वो तो एक बंदा ये मेन देख रहा था और एक एल्बो देख के आ रहा था.
These kind of clutches surely can't be happening.
तो उसने वो तो सही मारा जज से एकदम क्लोज रेंज एक शॉट, ठीक है? उसके बाद जो स्काई मरा है, स्काई ने हगा, स्काई का थ्रो बोल सकते हैं. बाकी दोनों को पीटा है भाई 4 सेकंड में पूरा. परफेक्ट मूवमेंट किया उसने, उनको क्रॉसर पे आने दिया.
Is definitely up there, but most of it doesn't seem to be anything to do with the agent itself. And the thing that's worth noting is, I believe Mindfreak was 1 HP, 1 hit, for not one exactly, but 1 hit when that first pelt subsided. Could very well have been the double kill. EDG are getting hyped up, and with a 3-round lead, and the economy of Paper Rex completely destroyed,
Nice, eh?
There's a good reason for them to be excited.
ब्रेव के साथ खेला. क्या रहेगा ब्रेव का भी?
Other than that, they didn't have any players surviving. And thus the economy is completely in the bin. You can see just the sheer confidence of nobody on this map. Aggressive angles being taken. TP into the site once more. And an afterplant will ensue, but they are so happy to play in these retakes.
क्या कहाँ प्लान दे रहा है
the
वो?
initial kill, it does come in elsewhere.
चाहिए भी नहीं तुम्हारे लिए वॉल के लिए.
Again,
अबे ये क्या कर रहे हैं लोग? हमेशा सीटी पुश.
Pull the numbers into their favor, get some of those
या तुम हेवन से पुश कर रहे हो तो
अबे opponents and the paint shell found its mark on the low HP Munyet. This is left Divide alone, and he's being watched. You know, it's an ambitious thing to try and flank Howdong. He's never going to let that happen. But of course, it was Khan to find the kill, a showstopper, online for EDG, moving into round number 6. This was a great farming round for this squad.
Fight हमेशा मिल रहा है, retake उनका हमेशा हो रहा है.
Rifles, there's a lot for the side of EDG to fall back on. If they do
छोटे-छोटे mistakes बार-बार same.
I think
this world भी है सब.
EDG has done amazingly well to not play Paperx at their own game. They're not giving them those early fights. They're not giving them any battles that don't have the opportunity for a trade. Supportive flashes from the likes of Smoggy have been fantastic as well. And Paperx is rinse and repeat. If at first you don't succeed, try again, because they're heading back into this A site once more.
Hey, look, they got the ult again. Why not? And it's actually
अभी ना smoke down हुआ ना भाई. देख.
Now it's dangerous.
भाई कुछ भी है bro, कुछ भी कर रहे हैं.
To clear the site, get the spike plant. Good timing. Chichu in trouble now. The showstoppers found him, but it's only trading out the kill from Smoggy. He's had some impressive rounds of his own. A good shot traded again from the grave. Khan takes down Mindfreak. Low HP on Munyet. Nade still to work with, and Forsaken in a nasty spot, ready to play with that judge from down below. But he's worried now because the A site being lost. They're going to swing in, and he's only got a classic closing the distance on the back of the smoke. He's evaded their detection, and he's up close with a judge. Forsaken buying them time and space, but now he's dropped. The low HP Munyet is lost alive. Nade buys time, runs that clock down lower. Nobody has nowhere near enough time to get the defuse in.
मिला राउंड आखिरकार।
PaperX and a lot of damage done to EDG's economy.
अरे क्या मेटा नहीं भाई, ये PRX जो खेलता है वो दुनिया के बाहर का खेलता है भाई, वो उनका छोड़। अगर कोई मतलब सिंगल डुएलिस्ट पे यूरू चलाए तो फिर मैं समझू कि मेटा डुएलिस्ट में यूरू है, नहीं तो रेस जेट के अलावा चल मैक्स टू मैक्स डबल डुएलिस्ट में भी यूरू आता है, फिर भी ये तो ट्रिपल डुएलिस्ट ले आए इन्होंने, ये यूरू को एज अ इनिशिएटर यूज कर रहे हैं। देखना अल्ट में साइड लेता है, फिर फ्लैश के लिए हेल्प कर रहे हैं रेस को हेवन लेने के लिए। हेवन
we finally see a hit towards this B site. The early flash is already going to give that information over to nobody, and the cavalry is full sprint. I think after he slowed them down, they've decided to go back.
Look at that damage. When Yet's down to 50 on just the straight spam through those smokes. Mind Freak already dropped. That's a lot lost in terms of sight coverage, blocking off angles, paranoia out of the game. And for PaperX, he's got a chance to do something. And it's actually something to find that onto Chichu, but when he's dropped, it's Devon.
Something नहीं खेल पा रहा है।
Maybe he had a chance to get something done if they were
able. अबे भाई क्यों PRX को जीतने दे, बेचारे 3 टाइम से हार ही रहे।
Instead, yeah, this might even be a better clutch than what we saw from Forsaken.
I don't know if that exists.
True.
I'll be honest with you.
So much utility though, and they're not in a rush on EDG. That's a big difference.
No, it would take equally the amount of hero power, and they're already just watching. They're ready and waiting. Let that happen twice.
Cringe.
It's going to be another round. It's an instant resurgence once more. It's an attempted fast-paced play. I think EDG have done fantastically well to not go in for those early fights. They're happy to sit back. They're happy to sit in their crossfires. And when the opening kills aren't going the way of PaperX, when advantages can't be garnered, it's just not going their way.
हम ये कोच तो ज़्यादा टॉक्सिक नहीं, इसको निकाला क्यों नहीं अभी तक?
Really?
Well, last year he didn't. They were all.
PRX सपोर्टर नहीं है, क्यों नहीं है भाई?
I think he was angry when they were winning.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, he's a pretty chill guy, but I guess you put him on the server, it's a different story.
He's up there with Barber. The second you get him in that room with a desk and a monitor watching PaperX, it's like, right, well.
अरे जिंग गया ना, वो कुछ तो मिलिट्री का कुछ रहता है उनके कंट्री में ना, उसके लिए गया ना।
His own Twitter account. You know that, right? Because of how much damage he does to it.
Oh, I see. No, I've
talked
to Alex a lot behind the scenes, and that's the same as Barba, right? They're super chill guys to tell you.
Toxic, अरे कुछ ज़्यादा toxic है वो coach.
Like this, when watching your team run a triple duelist.
मोहन ने वो pressurize हो गया coach से.
You know what? Probably. It's a very frustrating thing, but when you look at EDG right now, like nobody.
ऐसे अभी भी गेम हारे नहीं है भाई, कि जितना रेज करने की जरूरत नहीं है कोच को। आराम से डिफेंस साइड कर सकते हैं, इनके पास सिग्नल नहीं तो उनके पास भी नहीं है। एक सी प्लेयर को
It's just completely shutting them down.
जी का नाम मत ले भाई, स्ट्रीम बंद हो जाएगी मेरी।
Doesn't bloody need to. It's defense as well.
बेटी का नाम ही मत ले।
You're seeing the flexibility, a completely different role for either player and completely different results, but ultimately they're in the lead. That's a good start though. Forsaken again, he has been the, well, the really the one.
Something नहीं खेल पा रहा रे, पता नहीं क्या। Last match, last मैच भी नहीं खेला ये मैच भी। Something खेलेगा तो अच्छा रहेगा।
Playing slightly more aggressively, they're giving opportunities.
बाप रे बाप।
That might be a mistake.
और एक केस निकाल ले भाई।
Device flank this time, not gonna.
Oh no!
No, I wish I didn't see that. Well, it wasn't.
क्या कास्टर है भाई, स्मोक के थ्रू अंदर गया, मुश्किल है मारना है।
At least the trade is found, and we're left into a 2 versus 4.
Something solo भी कर रहा है।
This is something way beyond what you could have expected. Forsaken has ult to work with. If they need the information, more likely it's just about winning those duels. Both players very isolated and spotted. They know where these EDG players are, and on the side of PaperX, that's going to let them group up. A brave play for something didn't quite work out, but he's got plenty of teammates there to catch the ball when it's fumbled. 6-3. PaperX.
अरे चलेगा यार, समथिंग का क्रैक डेम भी चल जाए अभी।
And if it keeps up that way, EDG going to be very happy.
This is the thing, the Mastercard 50 almost comes purely off the back of
पिक्सल एंगल पे मार देता है 4 सेकंड।
like just 2 entries into the site, a little bit of an overpeak through the smoke as well. I think this is one of the times you can sort of go the opposite of what we've seen from EDG so far. They've been very happy to give up control, And then retake. This time, 2 players went for slightly more.
Come on, guys.
The TP into B main was very aggressive.
Yeah.
They got punished for it. That's not how you want to play against this Paper X.
Oh, nearsighted, but he's got a close range gun. Kink, good to find one. And the heal is coming right on through. So it's only the shields that he's lost. A fantastic start again for that side of EDG. Although Smoggy does go down, the B site's open and they've bypassed the Viper's pit. This could become a problem.
ऑफ निकला something or something वो टेर देख रहा है अरे बाप रे
Massive flank as well from Devi. He's got to get a move on eventually.
Second best player.
Retake will be beginning, but if his teammates can buy enough time and something on that aggressive AWP, always a problem. Leaving things now with an advantage for that attack side. Chichu needs to try and choose his moment to find some space back in for a team. And actually, nobody's still very, very far away from this. Chichu eventually pounces, but he's got no support. No teammate to be had. The flank eventually starting its way back around. He's going to have to pull off something ridiculous. Definitely not jump in the face of their opponent. I believe that's a mouse wheel. Nobody now has no time. No opportunity to...
एने और ये जाके क्या इधर अच्छा टीम बनाना चाहिए. एक तो अच्छा टीम अपना इधर भाई South East Asia का एक तो अच्छा टीम जीतना चाहिए यार.
You know, you say that might be a mouse wheel. Either that or they've been watching Vitality VODs. I'm not sure.
Shout out Sender.
that little bunny hop spray. You weren't watching EMEA? It's worth a watch back. It was a fun one. Yeah, it didn't work out as well for Chichu. Of course not. I'm not even joking. It is of course just a mouse wheel, just an unlucky mechanical failure.
Spacebar gang.
Exactly. My spacebar is to crouch, but we don't need to talk about that.
No, we don't.
6-4.
Unexpected place बना के जीतते हैं अपना PRX. अभी ये मैप के मतलब ये मैप में जो किया है. Unexpectedly off angle जोड़ किया. ए पे सैचुरेट मार के बीच चले गए. देख.
And now there's an isolated breach on this site. Smoggy be feeling lonely for a while. Khan a little too far away. Smoggy's going to have to hold this all by himself, and he peeks in just at the right time to grab 2. They're back in contention, and now Khan's here. No room for Paper X on the site with Munyet on 70 and the spike in the open. This is going to be a very difficult clutch.
Nice.
Found the first.
That's risky. Chichu goes peeking in. Howdong's able to close the distance. As you said, he's had a quiet game so far. Showstopper online, but with half HP, might not be worth popping. Munyet just trying to isolate the angle, find out where his opponent is, and now just standing with the rocket in hand, not quite knowing where his opponent's currently coming from. It is a TP into the side, and Howdong eventually gets the job done. Plenty of time left on the clock, and EDG are going to increase the lead to a half victory.
That was actually really impressive that I didn't see the showstopper just shot at the floor after the came through. I think Howdong repositioned perfectly. He couldn't have played that any better. And in fact, I think with most players, he would have baited that showstopper out and left them in a very tough position. Khan dropping the spot, setting them up for that success. Howdong having his round. This is 7-4 for the side of EDG. Map 3, a long and hard-fought series. And this half is going to come to a conclusion. Is it 8-4 or 7-5 for Paper X? That's going to make a hell of a big difference.
The initial pace is there again, but it's meant to be a ruse. Thing is that fake has not been sold. I think they were hoping that Munyet would at least do a little bit, get something from it, but a showstopper straight at his feet. The rest of the team looking to go in. That's a flash, a blind, completely left in the dark. Here is Howdong. Now looks to come alive. He's had a quiet start, but the close to the half might be exactly what they need. Mindfreak has made some space, but well, he's going to need quite a bit more from this one. Another 1v5 needed, and it isn't going to happen twice. 8-4, EDG again showing they can go toe-to-toe with Paper X, and this might be the best chance they've ever had to beat them.
Absolutely.
अरे सेम ही चीज कर रहा है यार, मतलब उसका टीम भी उसको सेम ही यूटिल दे रहा है.
Remember, Tom, you opened this up by talking about how we started on the better half for both of these teams, and EDG have certainly come out on top, double the rounds of their opponent. And they've already shown us they've got what it takes. The momentum is high on their side, and the hope's even higher for EDG to finally best Paper X on the international stage. Let's toss it over to the desk to get their thoughts.
Only a few rounds away for EDG, but for PaperX, they're a team that you simply just can't count out quite yet. That being said, though, EDG really looking to just close this one here with a decisive finish.
Finally, after 4 times, this might be the time that EDG is going to close it. And the way that they're doing it, it has us very surprised. Kink can come in alive there, in this last map. But actually, it's the protocols and how well studied they have the map and the effect that PaperX composition is going to have onto it, right, Brand?
Yeah, they've had some amazing answers, I think, for these big A hits, which is the bread and butter of PaperX when they're running this comp and this map. Their attack side is what's looked always better, but like I said, it's the protocols. EDG here, taking their time, making sure they hold on to ramp control. Nobody being a difference maker here in this particular instance for the bonus round conversion. And then multiple rounds after this as well, always having the right ideas in mind to either play the full retake, like this, the flash peek coming in, just making sure that they fight for that heaven control, while the plan's still going down, so they're making sure they hold on to that crucial positioning. And even later than that as well, playing for the flood defense or playing for the hard anchoring positions. They always had the right answer for what was being thrown at them. And it just shows to me clear preparation, I think. They understand what the weaknesses of this comp were. It was one of my concerns, I think, for PaperX. I was constantly talking about how weak their map pool could potentially be, and Split was the one that I was putting a focus on it on, because you can't just replace the Yoru with a Sky and expect it to work to fruition. You're going to have weaknesses, in particular, trying to fight in instances like this, and really just... Yeah, I think EDG, you can tell from this, they've done their homework.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to think about PaperX. Now they're going into their defense half, and we need to think that they're coming to this event, the ones with the worst retake percentage. They're not going to be able to do the same as EDG did in this half.
Yeah, and that is going to be quite scary for PaperX. Can they find that next gear? They're going to need to, or else this match is done and done.
Let's go, decider, last half.
Thank you so much to our wonderful analyst desk one last time in this series, because we're into the last half, Tom. We've gone the distance, and PaperX have now found themselves quite a distance behind their opponents. EDG on the attack side with a very quickened pace. The side is their target. It's wide open for PaperX with Justify holding it. He's got a wall, though, to play back in.
Well, PaperX, for the most part, they've been good in their pistols. Go great in the last half, but we'll see if they can get this one over the line. Already losing the control of the site, and nobody is not going to allow any shenanigans from the team. They do have a quick flank. They're ready to sort of surround their opponents, but with something already going down, I believe that was through the smoke. That is not the start PRX were looking for.
Nice fake by Forsaken as well. He put his TP down, faked it out, and nobody's gone looking for him. Well, much to his surprise, the player was still there. The martyrdom comes into effect, and EDG now stand with a very good chance. Low HP on a few players, though, on both of them. In fact, the Mindfreak capitalizes. The first is his, and 20 HP left on Smoggy. A big play
Nice
one is not going to happen. PaperX have found the pistol, and this is a lifeline for the defense of PaperX.
Yeah. We got him very quickly, but something I wanted to mention is you look at the last couple of times the PaperX have played this map with this comp, they had 8-4 attack sides. So for the majority, they were really putting up numbers in that first half. We had high expectations for it, and as it was mentioned by us and the desk, it seemed like EDG weathered the storm, came prepared. And also, you've just seen the individuals shining. Kink 22 and 10, nobody 16 and 5. They've been on form. And some of the players on the other side have been a bit quiet. Something 5 and 12. On that Jet, that's a rarity. That's something you never really see from him. Now, he's got a chance to farm up some orbs here. Has himself that outlaw. Of course, no shields on the other side, so should be a good chance for an immediate kill. Playing very aggressively around the orb. I don't know if he will have realized how far nobody has. Luckily, he has support. I'm also looking at Chichu.
Yeah, he has managed to sneak his way a little further than you'd expect. The downside of not playing with a dedicated Sentinel is that your back can sometimes be a little more open. It looks like Chichu is going to be cosplaying Haodong with a nice easy kill and a recovered weapon that makes everybody a one-hit. This... Oh, no. Yeah, of course. Don't let them have it in the next. It's costly, but what a shame. He could have one-hit every single player, Tom.
Oh, and they're going to get it anyway. Yeah. A little bit unlucky, like both players close enough. But for PaperX, that's kind of what you needed. Get yourself some of the weaponry through to the next round.
Loud versus coin कौन सा था कल?
For an operator, this would definitely sort of had the gap a little bit.
Split op and outlaw, Tom?
Hey, I'm not saying it's No, I don't know.
Split,
Genuinely.
Op, Outlaw, Bucky, Spectre, Bulldog. You know,
Round win incoming.
sometimes you can't use your own logic because it ain't the same as theirs. Paranoia, nade, and play through him, and yet up close with a Bucky. Okay, this is great value for this weapon. A massively strong angle to play around, and one they're not likely to pop a close sky flash on all too often. The Op not finding its mark.
But neither did the
TP to
Outlaw.
B. Look, A is very much open now, so is middle.
Yeah, they've lost something in a very audacious position. I imagine that was with the dash online. Forsaken is now in a good spot, but he's lost his life as well. This man just isn't missing at the moment. The main character of this matchup had a rough start to the series, but has come alive at the perfect time. Dominating, taking over, even with the heals to support him here. Devi under pressure, and he's going to go down to the same man as well.
What hope is there? A save is called as Munyet has retrieved the operator. He would very much like to have that expensive weapon in the next round, having invested so much. You see Forsaken's credits 350, and even that shot from Munyet, it's not as valuable as you think. It's a kill and a dent in the economy that is decently low for EDG. It helps to manage their money. The problem is they know where the op is now. Sure, it might not be back on B site, but they've cast a wide net, and as this round comes to a close, they'll look to close that net and catch him. It looks like they've done just about enough, and yeah, indeed. Oh, never mind! Munyet's got it! He's out! He was out! But he's staying around for another kill! I guess they might have caught him as he moved through spawn anyways, so it's not that he was guaranteed a free run. But that op is lost.
Yeah, and that is going to put a dent. It's going to be Forsaken who takes it. They're going to just give him a stinger. Obviously, when you're playing that Yoru, you can take some risks, play some aggressive angles. But it's definitely not ideal, especially when he has been one of the major players in this game so far for PaperX when they've had success. Munyet, showstopper online. Kanka, no surprise, his is one away. They're already going to just try and play with some of the sound cues. It doesn't seem like there's any real interest from PaperX with those early initial sounds made. They've gone and taken the orb anyway.
There was a player close, but he's TP'd out. I think they might even have heard that sound.
There's no one on the A side.
Yeah, it's wide open.
They're just playing into middle. Yeah, I guess, again, with some slight vulnerabilities for the side of PaperX, they're just willing to completely give that up. And with how the lurks have been, that's somewhat surprising, but it looks like they might actually get this spot on.
He comes in, Chichu's under pressure. You might think, but you would think wrong. That, I'd love to see Coach Alex's cam as that one comes in. Weapons picked up, they hear them backing off, the paranoia is there. And the flash out from Forsaken, he's not going to give it up. This is the right play. He wants to pull the advantage back into their hands. With the spike down, he sticks it down after turning. Another huge round. He might not be alone, but he doesn't need backup. Not when he's playing like this. Mindfree closes the round, and well, it was very close to being 2 aces for Forsaken. This man is single-handedly keeping the team in it.
Yeah, there have been multiple rounds now that, well, ironically have looked Forsaken, and somehow he's just managing to pull off play after play. He's been on this roster for a long time with many heroes arising. We saw the rise of Jing, Something, Munyet joining the team, and somehow this guy always still looks like the superstar. And when you can see for the other side, they've got to try and almost center themselves because it's just ridiculous. Bear in mind, he picked that rifle up off the corpse of a teammate midway through that battle. He only had a stinger to start the round.
And because of him picking up that rifle, his teammate died because they heard the sound cue and they swung it. Now, though, there's a little bit of a different approach from the side of EDG. Shooting ahead with Sheriffs, and it's worked out perfectly. 9-7, double digits on the line, and they have so much control. The ult is going to be used, finding out Chichu. Good flash, but no kill. 4 HP left, but it's enough. He's made it, well, oh! I thought he made it out. They pulled him right back in. Mind Freak, 1 versus 5. And if you thought this was the round we were going to look at when barriers went up, go get your head examined.
They picked one rifle, managed to get any of the guns. It was
फिर
just
स्पैम
such
कर
an
रहा है एकदम वाइड पिक करके
absurd
मॉन्ने
round. And the thing
जेट
is,
भी मर गया
that is Chichu now
Something
realizing
मॉन्ने
how
क्या
much
कर रहे
space he
हैं
can take. He walked straight into that A site. But I don't even think he broke stride the entirety of the round because of how PaperX have been playing. And because of that, it ends up being their downfall. EDG consistently spotting the openings of their opponents. And it's been Lux on both of the maps that they've won. Haodong in the last map, and now Chichu doing the same on this one. It's a problem that PaperX are gonna have when they run these sort of comps.
They came into this round up against an Eco on the side of PaperX. They had full rifles. And the call in the end is to save before they even find a kill. One rifle that they get out of that situation. An utterly ridiculous, that also already done some damage to him, but he's quite low himself. And for PaperX, yeah, that is very much what you expect to see. Disappointment and anger. As EDG have stolen this out from under PaperX's nose. 3 rounds in the lead, and they need 3. To send PaperX 0 and 1. You could have a PaperX versus Loud game, and well, but yet doesn't want that.
No, no. It's the opening they've been looking for. Both teams have had mass success with weaker weaponry. And Chichu does have a Viper Spit. If they can get him into position, it could be problematic.
Something है मत मारो यार
He's been spotted,
बस हो
but
गया अभी कुछ
just
कर
runs
भी दो
away with the information. You can still
आप
see
के
the
लिए सेव
tiger
करो
being thrown
चुपचाप
out
क्या
over
कर
on the
रहे
A
हो
site. Information being garnered by EDG, and again that walk up, but this time there are players there. Even the TP available onto site for Forsaken if he needs to go back and support. Instead, it's this fight, and again,
नहीं हो
something
रहा
has been having a rough time
NHK अरे
in individual battles, which is not something I thought I'd say today.
Well, even starting out the day, the first 2 maps, Concon had a pretty tough time in individual battles, but there's no signs remaining of that anymore. Lots of players from EDG ready to run into A site. It's going to be the Rolling Thunder that's point of contact close. Already is Forsaken, and he's caught one, but he won't get out of there. The spray is too good. Quick rotate by Mindfreak, straight into a stun. He's kept back for a moment, and that wall is buying space and time, but as they cross it, they're lower. Easier to take!
Nice one, let's go!
Mindfreak catches all 3!
Alt नहीं किया ना Mindfreak वहाँ पे
aren't
कैसे आया
giving this up just yet. The
अबे
gap is down to 2.
Viper सा सिर्फ शायद
Somehow the
NHK
gap
की
is within touching distance
क्या था ये
for PaperX with how things have gone. A solid
Alt
start
किया
with the
शायद
shot
हाँ
stop, but I also like how we see Forsaken
Alt कर गया
just delay that hot flash aggressive spot. It kept his teammate alive on the site. That surely would have been him going down with the Rolling Thunder. And that also
मस्त था
bought
वो
time for
एकदम
Mindfreak to be able
perfect
to TP to the
वो
other
मैंने
side of the
alt
map.
किया bait out किया elbow
Impact even without the numbers. Still though, economy on the brink. An aggressive push that has had very little success so far.
Somebody's even going to give it up. You can see the respect being given to the side of EDG. Not by Forsaken, that's for sure. He's just swinging out looking for long-range battles. It's a decoy going through, and Chichu's realized, oh, he was screens a second ago. I don't think he's up in heaven. The rotates are coming through, and they'll fight for heaven by the looks of things. I like this wall on A. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like I'm incorrect. There's going to instead be a bit of a poke by Concon up towards B first, and that is keeping players in position. Mindfreak's pushed up, 3 players towards B, and it's the fight on Concon that could decide it for Forsaken. If he loses control there, the panic, and they stay on B, but instead, the rotates are underway. And the A side is now definitely the target. The info is there, but Devi is so desperately low, he won't be able to hold on. And as they rush into the site, Concon realizes he might have the timing. Forsaken realize that too.
Viper's Pit, though, is definitely going to make things more interesting. Every player within it, at least for the moment. Heals available as well. Nobody won't be able to help himself, but he can help everybody else. Utility-wise, not a whole lot to play with, and that's not the start they were looking for. Every member falling. Forsaken again is going to have to ace it for them to take this round, and Haodong is ready and waiting.
भी panic कर दिया यार reset hold करते time.
11 to 8, lead extended once more, and now the problems really are there. Look at the economy for the side of PaperX.
Yeah, this is crushing. If it was EDG, I'd be expecting us to see 11 to 10 on the board, but the thing is, it's not. PaperX have struggled on some of the lower buys. EDG have been so disciplined, is the main
thing. They did win one, and it was off Forsaken's double entry with a Sheriff. So, but that's the thing. I do feel like right now, even though like Mindfreak is up there, I feel like I'm just looking at him every round. I'm like, okay, can he give them something to play with? Because otherwise, I just don't see a way that through. And Mindfreak's already dead.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Smoke's down. No paranoia. Although it's often used off early contact. Forsaken is going down to take a close range fight.
No
His TP is to be, and he's out. It was just a quick recon jump. I like that for info, but the info, unfortunately, is that the stack on B is incorrect. The A site's under threat, and they're going to be very late to the party.
He's got no flashes to play with, so it just has to be off raw skill this time. Too many targets. Not going to be able to get anything, and just look how far the remaining players are. It might even be a scenario of just going down to the spike. The only thing against that is for something probably wanting to get that Blade Storm online.
Devi as well. You know, he's about to get the Viper's Pit into play. Could be huge for that defensive side to cut down an angle, especially like A main where they've been so quickly bypassed again and again. You can see he's going up to try and get something. He'll get an orb one way or another. And it looks like it's the other. Yeah, shot in the head. Something going up for the same. And it's just a formality at this point. Smoggy's picking them all up. The wall goes down, and here's the push. No kills for something. Blade Storm, Viper's Pit have been acquired by PaperX, but the cost they paid is that EDG now have 4 chances to put them 0-1. Put them up against possibly an FPX, the loser of the next series, or Loud.
Yeah, there's not great options. Even the loser of the next series seems like a rough one.
You can say that again.
Hometown heroes or the America's #1. I don't think it's a good look either way. It is brutal with 2 losses sending you out. And that's the thing, even if you win that first one, there's still a decider match. You're still going to have to play one of those upper bracket teams. For now, though, a little bit of extra pace thrown in from EDG. A chance they've never had before, a chance to close out a series versus PaperX with 3 losses. I've heard 3 is the magic number. They're looking at 4. But there's a lot of ults online for their opponents right now. That is where PaperX have done their best work.
And especially thinking about this A site setup, if they play retake, Viper's Pit can get online using that wall to block a lot of the angles on the way back through, even towards elbow. And it is somewhat of a retake. Fight for heaven for sure. PaperX want to keep control over that spot, as EDG will be pushing into it. Now, these are big players. Munyet's had a good game, but Forsaken, he rated his team at a 6 out of 10 right now. But he's been 10 out of 10 all damn day long. This map, thriving. The challenge is about to come through. The flash has caught him, but he's turned, and it's nice. 2 quick kills, a decoy in, and a TP out. The advantage is extended even further as PaperX look to put another round on the board. Buy a little more time. Forsaken, another 3K, another big play from this man, and he's waiting for his teammates to round the corner before he takes that fight. 3 more chances for EDG before they hit an overtime.
I've heard a strat back in the day, played by many a team.
What's
that called? Avoid CNED. And I think that they may need to try and incorporate that on the EDG side, because genuinely, Forsaken has been the one thorn in their side. They have looked like the better team throughout this map. A pistol either side, there's no excuses in that regard. Winning hero rounds, Kink back online, nobody as well. There hasn't been a weak link, but when they run into Forsaken, well, 9 times out of 10, they lose the round. He is the sole defender of this A site right now, with a little bit of support coming. Showstopper for Kink could put the end to him, but it looks like he just wants to take a firefight.
Oh, they've cleared heaven, but look at the space taking by Munyet. It's perfect, but King's ahead of him. Finding the kill. Forsaken, flash to work with, TP towards screens. He's going to try to get the kill. No, in fact, he's not. The flash is just used as he falls further back. And now here comes the big ol' rocket. Forsaken's dodged it nicely. Spray good for something. The rolling thunder going up towards heaven. It's not caught the players, and the site is under threat. Something maneuvers around and jumps into Kink. Eventually, he'll fall with Forsaken on another and low HP on Smoggy. The spike on the A site. And a very tough one for them to retrieve. They don't know where that second player is, but they found him. It's all on Forsaken. 2 kills, but the spike is at his feet. He knows these players have to push him. The utility 2 flashes will now no longer. And it's a few bullets in the difference. That's enough. EDG, 4th time is the charm as they finally bested PaperX.
And it's the first time the W will take the loss for the Chinese #1. And what a great start to the tournament it's been for them. We said both teams came into this one looking a little bit shaky, looking like they were vulnerable, likely could be beaten. And what for PaperX, that has become a reality. They finished 2nd place within the Pacific region, and now they finished 2nd place to EDG as well.
I feel like nobody's just had a magnum level performance from 2 kills to 20 kills, but still, he's not even able to shine a light on Kink. An unbelievable map from him, and after a shaky start on Sunset and Bind, it's fair to say EDG are here to play. It's 0-1. PaperX go down, and they'll wait to find out who's going to be facing off against them later on.
It is a scary 0-1 bracket already.
Terrifying.
You're looking at Loud down there, PaperX, FPX, and that's the thing. Even a matchup like PaperX, FPX, there's going to be some of the craziest comps and ideas you've ever seen. The fact is, though, today EDG proved that they can not only swing with the big boys, but they can also weather the craziness of a PaperX. Other matchups that they have throughout this definitely won't be as ludicrous as that one, but the fact they survived and thrived was fantastic. Now, though, we're going to be heading it back over to the analyst desk as they can take this one home.
EDG finally managed to get the win over PaperX in a spectacular fashion. And I think that this is an EDG team that you heard Kink before, right? This jinx that had loomed over them for such a long time. They can finally, Kukuka, breathe a sigh of relief today.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a long time coming, and it's finally here, that win for them. And in the fashion in which they did it, losing that first map, but actually having the strength to bring it back round by round. I think that it is crazy that we're seeing it today. But hey, Brent, I know that you're not really used to being right, but actually, Swissology.
Yeah, Swissology was correct, actually. Now, honestly, something is wrong with the universe.
You doubted yourself.
I did doubt myself. I saw my pred, but there's something wrong with the universe because I've been getting a lot of my preds right, actually, if I've been trusting my gut, which doesn't normally happen. But EDG, I think, showcased today here that they are evolving as a team. The protocols are really good. They are trusting their right ideas on both Bind and Split and how to dismantle their comp. And finally, they come up with a historic win. I mean, just elite stuff from EDG, and I think showcasing as well. There are no bad teams at this tournament. Seriously, I think that from top to bottom, you have contenders that could potentially make it all the way to the finals, and you're just seeing the level up across the board of these teams. I wonder how far EDG is going to go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, like EDG, I think that they feel really confident. They have every reason to feel very confident, but there were still some incredible hero moments that we were seeing from PaperX. And one of the players said he felt like he was playing like a 6 out of 10. Actually showed us that he was more of a 10 out of 10 here today because Forsaken had some moments, man. And he, of course, is going to get that HyperX Reflex moment of the day. So shout out to him for that. But, you know, even without the heroics, or excuse me, even with the heroics, it was not enough for this PaperX team to overcome EDG.
Yeah, I mean, he was just bailing them out entirely.
Amazing stuff, but I think at word, we have an interview over at the stage.
Es la victoria para Edward Gaming. Quiero escuchar los fans de EDG. Where are the EDG fans here? I want to hear you scream. I want to hear you celebrate. Y estoy aquí con Kink para esta victoria súper importante para la escuadra china. Mi primera pregunta para él va a ser que me cuente, ¿es la primera vez que derrotan a PaperX? ¿Qué se siente para el equipo esta victoria tan importante? Y si es el inicio de una nueva era para Edward Gaming. Kink, congratulations. The first thing I want to ask you is, this is the first time that you take down PaperX. What does it mean for you, for the team, and is this the start of a new era for EDG?
第一个问题，先恭喜康康赢下了这一场你们面对 PRX 的第一次胜利。你觉得这对于你们来说意味着什么？是否要开启属于你们一个新纪元？
我觉得我们赢下 PRX 就代表我们进化了，对，就是我们从以前那种混乱状态的，就是会被别人带入节奏，但是我们今天我们只需要把自己的东西做好，我们把自己发挥出来了，所以说我觉得。 如果我们能做好我们自己，我们会越来越强。对。
I think winning PRX means we are evolution along all the way and feel like we are not like bring by our opponent, follow their pace. We're doing our own thing. If like we can keep that, we can be better and better.
Dice que el poder derrotar a PaperX es un inicio, una evolución que muestran del equipo y que también dicen que no se están adaptando a lo que hacen los demás, sino ellos traen su propio juego y con ese propio juego lograron ganar el día de hoy. Ahora para mi segunda pregunta, quiero saber un poco de lo que es Edward Gaming, que nos cuenten qué los hace ese equipo que como menciona evoluciona más rápido que la mayoría de todos los equipos que hemos visto. I want to ask also for EG, since we started seeing you in international events, you've been, as you said, evolving and getting better and better. And how does that happen? How does that evolution even take place? It's so fast.
那在进入世界赛当中，就像你刚刚说到的，一直在不断的进化、不断的进步。那你觉得到底是什么能够让你们变得越来越好，一直进步呢？
就一句话，不要小瞧 EDG 所有人的羁绊啊！
Just one sentence, never just don't forget our destiny and fate between all of our teammates of EDG.
Nos dice que solamente una frase, nunca olvidar el destino y lo que viene para la escuadra y para los equipos. Esto es todo lo que tengo de la entrevista. Una última o alguna frase rápida que le quiera decir a lo que van a ser los siguientes oponentes. A quick phrase that you want to say for whoever you're going to face next.
有没有什么话想对接下来会有面对到的队伍说的呢？
我觉得我们打好我们自己的东西就行了，然后就希望下一场比赛也会是一场酣畅淋漓的对决。对。
I think we just play our own thing well, and I hope that next matchup gonna be so dope.
Dice que van a seguir jugando su propio juego y que la siguiente partida espera que va a ser muy buena. Eso es todo lo que tenemos dentro de esta vista. This is everything that we have for this interview. Nos vamos a una pausa. We're going to break, and when we're back, we have Sentinels y el local Heretics.
Has given us a lot of surprises. Maybe it is time for EDG to bring another one onto the table.
There's a TP out of Aldor and a third kill.
The retakes over the last few rounds just haven't been working. They need to try and get some of those early fights in, and they'll win one.
It's around here. They've got to deal with him. They want to get this fight planted, and Munyen with a beautiful shot, and now a crossfire angle. And PaperX sealing the coffin of EDG. That is the first map for PaperX.
I'm excited for the next map, though. Managed to get one. The Boombot's done a significant amount of damage, but he's still in the corner. They haven't spotted him. Howdong still alive. That's the thing. There are no easy games. Here goes Munyen again.
6 seconds as they make it towards the side. What a shot! The defuse being stuck to half, but the swing is perfect. Map 3 is coming up next. It really was, and it's back to going great. Nobody with 3 kills, and now it's just one standing. 10 bullets, and it's only one needed. It doesn't look too good for PaperX. You might think this is an eco, but it's not. The weaker weapon of Forsaken, good for 2. Maybe more to be found, but nobody low. He's 90 HP, fighting another 3 health.
Problems really are there.
2 flashes will now no longer, and it's a few bullets in the difference, but that's enough. EDG, 4th time is the charm, as they finally bested PaperX.
आरी क्या कर रहा है? versus TH.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Said I'll find you, but it's not the time to make a mistake. You're calling out the name, I'm falling down again. You're calling out
Welcome back to day 2 of Masters Madrid and our second matchup of the day. And boy, oh boy, is it going to be a good one, because we have two teams that are not just fan favorites. They're just going to try and blow the house down in this place. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside Kukuk and Bren as we break it all down. I am so stoked for this game. And, you know, what's really fascinating here is that you got yourself the hometown favorite Team Heretics taking on fan favorite Sentinels. And that means that we're finally going to get the matchup of Roll the Graphic. Benji Fishy versus Tenzi Fishy.
Who?
It's disturbing, isn't it?
Who cooked this up, madam?
Was it you, Alex?
Well, you know what? Let's just say I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
You're in Spain, honey. There's no fifth here.
If I am, I plead the fifth.
There ain't no fifth here.
Mimi's not here to walk away and looking disparaged. I mean,
hey, listen, when someone tells me, Alex, we want to take a risk, I say, baby, cook it. I want to try it out. Anyway.
It's smelling burnt. It's smelling burnt.
Hey, man, if there's one thing I learned in my life, you say enough things with confidence, people believe you.
That's
anyway,
true,
let's go ahead and move on, though, and talk about the Sentinels' #1 seeded squad coming out of the Americas region. And this is a squad that we have not seen on the international stage, Kukuga, in a hot minute.
Yeah, exactly. It's been since 2021. And even though this is a roster that played a lot during the offseason, they had to fight. They had to go with everything to even make it to here. Right at the start of kickoff, they have a hard loss against Loud with an 0-2, but they have to fight all the way up to the top, and that's exactly what they get. They managed to get to the seed 1 of Americas with an amazing performance coming in from almost all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about like a redemption arc for the entire team as well, the org in terms of the history of it, but my God, I don't think we can iterate enough what you were saying, though. They had to really fight. They had one of the hardest groups out of any of the teams that are actually at this event. They ended up losing. They had to play a ton of matches. They had to reveal a lot of their game plans, and they kept evolving. They kept pushing it, and they've made it here at Madrid. This is not a team that's going to sit down lightly. They're not going to let things fall to the wayside. I think they're going to come out to Madrid with a real intention to win it all.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, they feel it. I just saw Kaplan and Drew in the back. I asked them how they were feeling, and they gave me this look of despair yet hope. It was quite fascinating. Every single time I talked to Kaplan, it's something. But you know what, though? Something that Kukuka, you brought up about them fighting tooth and nail. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that they were playing so many rounds of Valorant all throughout the kickoff.
Yeah, exactly. This is the team that has played the most rounds, just making it here, and is actually in comparison a lot compared to what Heretics did, but actually thinking about the protocols, thinking about how they do this retakes, how everything escalates perfectly, and they have this blind trust with each other that they know everybody is going to be where they have to be. Coles do not need a second voice to make it through.
Yeah, I think that the fact that they show really zero hesitation when making plays together makes their split defense one of the scariest maps, I think, for out of any of the teams really at this event. They are lights out when it comes to this, and that coordination has been honed over these off-season events, over the matches that have been played. They are one of the most experienced teams that we've actually got at this event when it comes to the matches that they played in 2024. So they have this as a real edge moving forwards. It's going to carry through. It's not just a one-map wonder. It's something that is really applicable, I think, on almost every map that they do play.
But if I may challenge it, though, they've played a lot of maps, which means there's a lot of film out there. So that can be problematic, especially for a young and hungry Heretic.
Yeah, exactly. We talk about that, but I think that especially what we've seen in the tournament so far, and with the exception of EDG, is actually those seed 1s making it through because of the amounts of reps that they've gotten, right? We're talking about the seed 1s that actually made it through the play-in and had to fight to be here. And actually is getting those reps, getting all those things that might, need a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of adjusting that you can adjust and improving to get in here. If you have less reps but actually made it here, you may have the false feeling that everything you're doing works perfectly when it won't.
That's a very, very good point. But for now, though, let's actually send it over to Yinsu. She's got Zelsis standing by. Yinsu?
Oh, Zelsis, I'm so happy you're here. I have a very, very important question for you. Now, everybody knows Sentinels, one of the most popular teams in the world, but how do you convert the non-Sen City believers?
Please buy the Sentinels bundle, please!
Well, you heard the man.
We learned so much from that bit of content. All right.
Honestly, marketing god, average support player, I'd say.
He's been pretty good on the supportive role.
I'm joking, Brent, I'm joking. I was just looking at Pansy right there. She was giving me the look. I just did what she told me to.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about this Sentinels lineup here. The dynamic duo of TenZ and Zekin. Even though Zelsis loves to make a few jokes and always likes to keep the energy high, I think a lot of people have been paying attention, Brent, to this TenZ-Zekin combination because they have been dynamic in kickoff.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I mean, this role change for TenZ has absolutely reinvented this guy's career. I think he's coming out swinging on the Omen. He plays like Angel if he had good aim. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see at times. I mean, listen, I'm sorry to I'm throwing some strays out to Angel.
He's not even here.
But it's been fantastic to watch. I mean, it really has revitalized his entire career. And then when you combine that with Zekin finally with a good team around him, he was one of the top-rated players of last year in 2023, and his team was losing everything. And now he's got a winning roster around him. So what do you think that does for them? Well, you've got a winning combination. These two have really found their own footing now in this year of 2024.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about Tense, the fact that he is able to convert into that role and actually have the performance that he's having. We've seen it so many times in the past when some players have tried a different trajectory, a different direction for their play style and for the agents that they're playing. But honestly, the fact that Tense is able to do it this well definitely sets them a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's actually go ahead and check out their opponents on the other side of the stage. Here in Madrid, the hometown heroes of Heretics have made their way here, and what a massive accomplishment this has been for the team. Not just because of what happened last year, but also because of the fact that they managed to do it with a new roster, and it's like they're invigorated again. It's amazing to watch.
Hear me out. I know that everybody has been super surprised about what KC has done, but Heretics was almost in the same position as KC. They were not a team that you would fear, is a team that you would expect to win. Benji joined for one match at the end of the year, and it literally looked
people
like
were clowning on Benji because, you know, Fortnite kid, lol, you know, I had the pleasure of casting this kid back then. He is incredible, man.
Yeah, exactly. He decided to stay, and I think that the incorporations of Rians, of Miniboo, by the way, I've been seeing and casting Miniboo for years now. He's been in casting for so long, and he actually is a star player. I'm between sad and happy that Woods is not here because we get to see Patitech. Now, if you were a fan of Valorant in 2020, there is no way you would not know this name. But hey, right now, I mean, at least he made it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's even more astounding as well. Just the storyline of Heretics is ridiculous because Patitech has been filling in for them. And he's been, honestly, the bread and butter of what makes Heretics so good have been their coordination with the supportive util. And Patitech hasn't missed a beat with this. I mean, that is mad impressive for me. I'm kind of glad in some way that Woots isn't playing, that Patitech is going to be able to play on the stage with them to some degree because they've just looked that clean.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see this squad take to the stage. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this guy. And actually, Yinsu standing by with the one and only Miniboo.
The hometown heroes, they're here. Miniboo, come over here real quick. Let me ask you a question now. You are one of the best rookies we had in EMEA, but there are a lot of great rookies here in this tournament. So how do you think you'll compare up against them?
I mean, I'm excited to play Masters Madrid. The players, the teams are here. I used to watch like 1 or 2 years ago, but it's just another challenge for me. Like, I don't fear anyone, and I don't care what's going to be on my roster.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Good luck, Miniboo.
Are excited to see Miniboo and the squad take the stage today. I mean, Kakuga, this has to also feel pretty awesome for you to just see Heretics playing here in Madrid.
I'm just so excited because for so long, the Spanish fans have, you know, mourned for having an event here in Spain. Not only because it's an amazing country, but because I feel like this area, we have a very big community. We're also big friends with the Latin American community. So we're very happy to do it here. And I think for Heretics, it's definitely going to be a difference maker. For example, I remember that back in EMEA, Koi, I had an interview with Starso, and he was telling me how sad he felt that the Koi fans were not attending their games because they knew that they could have that kind of impact in them.
Yeah, and you know, the fan reception as well will be the same on the other side for Sentinels. So that's certainly going to be something that both Heretics and honestly Sentinels are going to be mindful of. It's going to be loud in here, people. Get ready. But let's talk a little bit more about the Boo brothers here because they were the story coming out of EMEA kickoff. And Bren, it just goes to show you that when you stick to the system and you build around these two guys, you'll find success.
Dude, I have been dead impressed with the way that these players have coordinated around themselves as these brothers as well on the big stage because they are so damn good at fighting aggressively and proactively for map control at different times. Part of it is because Miniboo is an absolute freak of nature on a Neon, but they are magnificent with a supportive util. And they pick and choose these little quirky timings when teams are setting up, right when they least expect it. It's not just in the retakes, they're innovating in terms of smoke placements a lot of the time as well. Like, Boo has just been amazing with a lot of his util, but they're just always following up off of each other in the right ways to find the advantages. This is a round where arguably they shouldn't have won when Miniboo goes down first, but they stick together, they play for the fundamentals, and they end up coming out on top in situations like this. Here's another one that I picked out. They're just aggressively fighting for this mid control. Double flash play with a dash down. Minibu does this so damn much. Gonna keep an eye out for this one as well. On a lot of different maps, they love to use this aggression to take those timings when their opponents aren't expecting it.
Some people would think that you would not like to play with your brother if you had the chance to. And actually, Boo is staying in Heretics for this year, coming in from the previous one. Many people had the question of, is he going to be good enough? Was he one of the keys to the not success of Heretics? And he's proved everybody wrong. So I cannot wait to see the performance that these two are going to have on the big stage.
I think it's quite ironic coming from the Halo background that I'm just used to seeing brothers playing on stage all the time. So this is actually quite refreshing for me to see here in Valorant. But I think overall, this matchup is going to be absolute fireworks, people. The best you could possibly ask for. Our coaches are ready for map selection, and we're going to be diving in just a little bit. But for now, though, let's just continue to just break down a bit more. Like, what are you expecting from this matchup from both Sentinels and Heretics? It feels like it could go either way.
I think that there's going to be a lot of nerves on the table. I think that the expectations for both of them are extremely high, right? Sentinels is one of the most clouded teams, and so is Heretics. With all the fans, you do not want to let them down. So I do expect a beginning with either one of the teams has a very strong upper hand against the other one, or very shaky beginnings where, you know, some weird pigs, weird mistakes, that kind of thing.
We've already seen rookies be tested in a lot of these matches so far. You think of like Caron really showing up. I'm going to be paying attention to Heretics, I think, in that regard as well, because you've got Rian's playing on the stage, you know, for the first time essentially, and which wasn't a capacity. I mean, they were playing online for most of the kickoff, in fact, all of the kickoff. So I'm going to be paying close attention to that. It's a big question, I think, coming into this series and how well they perform, because Sentinels put a massive focus on playing off-season tournaments to offset that.
That's a great point there, Brent. All right, folks, where our coaches are ready to go, let's find out the battlegrounds for this epic confrontation between Heretics and Sentinels.
All right, welcome to Map Select presented by Omen for match 2 of the day. We'll jump right in. Sentinels, you are higher C, Team A or Team B?
Team A.
Team A. So, TH, you will be Team B. Sentinels, we will start with your first ban.
Ban Breeze.
Breeze. Heretics, your ban.
Ban Ascent.
Ascent, your map number 1.
Pick Lotus.
Lotus, side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. And map number 2. You have Bind, Icebox, Split, and Sunset.
Pick Sunset.
Sunset, side on Sunset.
Attack.
Attack. Starting the next round of bans, we have, starting with Sentinels, you have Bind, Icebox, and Split.
Ban Icebox.
Ban Icebox. Your ban?
Ban Split.
Ban Split. So map number 3 by default is going to be Bind, Sentinel, side on Bind.
Pick Attack.
All right. Okay. Good luck to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck, man.
No confiaron, pero mira, no. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. Le di la razón al que me quiso ver bien. Lo soñé en mi habitación y ahora en primera me ven. No te hablo del avión, vine por mi cinturón. No confiaron, pero mira, no. Llego con los míos y la grada explota. No confiaron, pero mira, no. Llego con los míos y la grada explota.
You can feel the electricity in the Madrid arena. This atmosphere is out of this world. And
Did you read that?
I'm gonna move past that one.
I don't see that.
But folks, this is what it's all about when you think about the sport at a high level. This is the atmosphere that you want to see, to hear, to feel. And you have two teams that could very well lay it all out there on the field today. But here's the fascinating part about this, Brent. In most cases, Sentinels come come out, they're the fan favorite. Not today. They ain't the fan favorite here.
Yeah, at least not in Arena, man. I mean, it's going to be absolutely electric, like you said, between these two teams. I think heavy emphasis for both of these teams. They place, for Sentinels, not too much in terms of counter-stratting. Heretics, I feel like they love to have a lot of tape on their opponents, and guess what? Sentinels have plenty of it. They're going to find it quite the challenge, I think, to really elevate and evolve their game so that they're not going to be caught into traps of, having setups that are going to be already figured out and worked out. And I do wonder how much practice and how much time Sentinels have had as a team.
Yep.
One of the latest teams to qualify for the event with America's.
I mean, they did have a lot of practice.
They had a ton of practice, right? But not a lot of turnaround from here to now. And that might be a shortfall for them. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, on the same note, they decided to go for Lotus as the first map. A map that actually Heretics has picked a ton if we think about that map selection that we just saw before the players took the stage. I think that they know exactly what they're running into. They want to see the neon. They want to see if Heretics is going to be tweaking things around or if they can expect the same thing that they saw in EMEA.
I think they're going to go for it. I think Heretics are just going to play their game. Yeah. I don't see a reason why you listen. It got you this far. Why would you change it up now? Yes, of course, you respect your opponent, the Sentinels on the other side, but like at this point, you got to put up a shut-up, Brent.
That's the thing with counter-stratting as well, is you can know what to do in theory, but everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Talking about punched in the face a lot so far.
Indeed we have. I think we really need to make the Valorant Boxing League. Or, wait a minute, the Valorant Wrestling League.
We're not doing that. We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going there. But it's putting it into practice that's the difficulty when it comes to counter-stratting. Sentinels, I think, have proven that they can take elements of that and use it against people. Yep. They were very confident picking that Lotus map. There was no hesitation from Cap when it was coming to the map select. Yeah, it felt like they had a plan there. It almost took the Heretics guys off guard. They took a while to pick their side, which are like normally no brainer. It's Lotus. We're gonna pick attack, right? It's an attack side of the map. But
maybe they went in with the idea of we're gonna pick it ourselves, and then they pick and they're like, what do I want?
What do we get to do?
Do I get to start on the attack? Is there something that I want to do? Or is the moment that it gets into your head, right? Are they reading into me? Do they have something prepared? And if they have it prepared, is it going to be for the defense? Is it going to be for the attack? How much do they know about us? How much do they want to use against us?
Man, I tell you, there could be mind games.
Let's talk about Sassy. Man, can we go back to the fact that this man became a world champion? Next event that he went was locking to get 2-0'd by Fnatic and then silence.
That's right, and he's back here on an international stage, here to prove to the world why he is and was and is one of the best in the world at various points of times in his career. We get ready for this agent select popping up in a moment, and here it is. Let's see what we're going to get.
Standard stuff for both games.
Yeah, the neon's there. I like it. Play your game.
And I think this is the normal kind of reaction. You don't really have too much time to change stuff up entirely. I think Sentinels have probably got a game plan coming into this. They've got to be ready for a lot of these like pop flash plays where Minibu's trying to fight aggressively over areas. I know he does that when he's on the defense side and he's fighting for the front of B. They're on the attack side first. Should be helping them out as an advantage here. But I'm curious what Sentinels might have up their sleeve. They've got to have something planned.
Based also on what we saw yesterday, I'm very looking into Patitek and YoungQT. I want to see those Viper walls and if the Odin is going to come into fruition and actually slow players around. Also, as you said, very well, Rian's first time on the stage. Let's see how that synergy is building up with the rest of the team.
This is it, folks. Our last match of the day. You couldn't ask for a better matchup, and we couldn't ask for better casters. On the horn, it's Pansy and Hypoc.
Oh, thank you so much, GB. This is truly a tantalizing prospect, to say the least. Such an early meeting of two giants here, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a clash of two of, at times, what look like the most explosive teams regionally.
Absolutely.
I mean, Heretics coming out looking absolutely formidable on these, and starting here on Lotus.
Listen to
as
that.
well.
You can't help but love it. I hope you guys at home can hear how riled up this audience is. Getting Heretics at home, the sixth man, all of that. I mean, Sentinels are your fan favorites every day of the week until today. This is going to be spectacular, and it will be Heretics to kick off on that attacking side. Sentinels will have to deal with what's brought to them on the defensive side.
We know as well, Heretics have had very good success rate here on the attack. 76% on their attacking side for Lotus. A slow start here, retrieve the orb. Drifting back towards the Tenzin Zekken, who are set up for it. Smoke's going to go up. Paranoia's going to go through as well. This could be a clash here.
Let's see who gets the drop on him, and actually, it's going to be Heretics to draw first blood, but Tenz answers back, and perfectly so! Welcome back to the international stage, Tenz! We bloody missed you. But
No
still,
way!
Oh, he's still going
What?
This man is out of this world. That's what people were waiting for. That's what they wanted. And he delivered it.
Time and time again regionally, Tens and Zekken locking down this position. And it kicks off with an ace here. So well done. Swings onto Benji, just catches him sleeping. What a way to kick things off. What a return to the international stage, Lauren.
Can't help but love it. The chosen one of Valorant back in action right off the rip. And that's a confidence builder. And for Heretics, that's going to be rough for them. That is going to take the wind out of your sails. They've got to pick themselves back up. Now this round, we've got a Ghost. We've got a Sheriff on Benji Fishy. That's about it. Beyond it, decent enough purchase here for SEN to hopefully keep him at arm's length. Now where the Heretics decide to explore next, maybe wanting to test out that B site, good for fact-finding this round, try and get a little bit of a read on what you're up against.
Stek looking to maybe toy with the idea. Tens, the Guardian in hand this time around. Similar hold once again though. Heretics only having a Sheriff and a Ghost to work with. It'll be difficult for them to really pin down anybody, but able to create enough pressure and soften this hold, but he comes back through, still finds two. Miniboo luckily gets the trade.
But the plan's foiled, isn't it, right? That little push and pull, trying to get that attention towards B, which it mostly did, barring Tens, who seemed to know a little better and had that glance back towards A. Fought them on the way through. Weapon is recovered, and that's in the hands of Miniboo. The plant should be in here. I don't think that's going to be denied, no. So a 3v3. Again, weaponry, armor, still favorable towards SEN here. Benji Fishy sitting a little further back, dependent on the turret a touch, trying to play in Rien's hit. This is the timing that he was waiting on. Perfect play to punish. Next in line, they're coming in one by one, and Miniboo's got Celsius! This could be the turn they were waiting for. Sassy in a 1v3, brutal positions, none easy to pry out. He's just got no time. He's got to get in there. Heretics right back in their faces.
And exactly how you want to see this map kick off.
SEN हार गया.
A trade back and forth, a 1-1 scoreline. And the crowd get behind them after that.
They're up on the feet, I can see them there. And look at this. And I've got to say, credit where it's due after being, as said, pushed, bullied, broken almost by Tens. First round, second round.
Two openers
insane
for
damage.
Tens.
Insane damage. But that small window of opportunity, there they are. They're the ones we're talking about. And Mastercard Thrifty is going to be bringing a smile to their faces. But now they've got to keep going on this pathing. Can they keep it clean this time? No real investments here coming out from SEN. So any damage like that is pretty decent. Boo, though, large and in charge. Keeping control here. It's down to one.
Just a classic in hand for John QT. Rifles on the other side of things. John QT actually slipping onto site here. Able to catch one off, but with Heretics grouped together, going to be very difficult with a classic to get much done in this situation, Lauren.
Very hard to isolate, isn't it? I don't think they're going to give you much. Maybe the first, but beyond that, it's hard to imagine it, but especially with just a classic. And Heretics aren't slouches when it comes to this. Yeah, they're not. Absolutely keeping it in mind. Boo with a belt up. Big round here to keep it calm, keep it controlled. 3 remain. They lose out on a few, but that's fine. They'll take that.
And already showing intention here to try and take control of this rubble area. Try and remove that from Sentinel's arsenal in the early round. See what the response is with weapons back on the board here for Sentinels. Zekken already one away from the showstopper. Do have the TP for Tens after this 7-2 start. Wow. And Odin in the hands of Zelsis as well. Over towards C currently.
Opening gambit. Is the TP taken? So they'll look towards CT. Notes on QT there, but that's about it. So again,
you may be looking for an indicator there of what the setup is exactly. John QT and Zelsis will hold on to their position for the time being. Zelsis, I was going to say, got to be careful there if he does remain out in the open.
Very precarious. They kind of cut noise for a second or two. Now here comes the burst. Testing the pacing. Forced away. And actually punished. Zelsis goes down. Now they've got to know there's an additional player. They should have noted John QT early, and I think you can see with Patty Tech's utility, they're very aware. Securing the site, getting the plant, but now can SEN try and pressure back. Second, leading the way, looking for the damage, he gets it. Thrash is dealt with. Benji Fishy on the follow-up though. And now down to just 3. Sassy, John QT and Tens trying to disrupt this post plant, but that angle too good with Boom. Just gonna hold it out, and I think they're running out of time and options here. Sassy gives them a moment of respite to work forward, but they're still too tucked by that pillar. Difficult, but not impossible, but John QT finds that. There's still a chance here. Boo buying time, but it's not enough. Now, Benji Fishy is sweating bullets. He's trying, he's got one, he needs another, he's got to run. Benji Fishy can't get there in time. Sentinels steal it from under their nose.
The blink of an eye. It looked like Sentinels were locked out of that retake, Lauren. Heretics blindsided by 2 quick kills here, and unfortunately, Benji Fishy locked out of the site. Takes a gamble, but John QT sticking at the defuse all the way through. What a crazy start to this map already.
Standing.
The Poison Orb just splitting up the teammates here. I mean, I don't even think even there if he's full sprinter back.
Right in, hold on.
Right back to this on bubble.
Yeah, Zekken straight away going to deny Boo that early presence towards Rubble that you noted was a high priority. And again, it's just a brawl. They're willing to fight this out. And Patitech somewhat
deep Mini Boo is.
The scales. And as right, look at Mini Boo. But there's still players in between. It's not a safe cross. Spamming the utility and spamming the weaponry. Benji Fishy going to catch one. And this is just mayhem in Madrid. What is going on in this matchup? Mini Boo is secured enough. They should be able to get that plant in. Zelsis, quite far away, has been that C player. Walking into the unknown here, and 3 players to disrupt.
Bulldog in hand. Heretics going to tuck themselves in here. You see on the X-ray what Zelsis has to stare down. Yet to get on the board either. Will require a 1v3. Taking his time with this. Might even just look for the exits, I believe, on the back side of the door.
Could try and make it costly. A couple players are starting to build up quite a bit of bank, though. You're looking at Boo, Benji Fishy. And here comes the exit. How much value does Zelsis get? Oh, that's a mouse problem right there.
Yeah, that looked like a mouse disconnect.
Yeah, or something. We're going to have to see if there's a timeout for that one, because he was not happy with that in the cam either.
I do smell a tech.
It's either that, or he needs to move that mouse pad a little further over. It literally just like stopped.
This opening is just, I mean, talk about explosive.
Yeah.
Zekken to find the opening here, by the way. Finds the first blood. Already, Mini Boo's all the way wrapping back from A site to backstab this setup.
And I think you highlighted it right. These 2 teams will brawl. They are willing to be explosive, risky plays. I mean, they've got the mechanics to back it up. I think we've seen that. And the other thing you were right about is Pausa Technica.
Okay.
Can you imagine what this pause would be for?
No.
No. Mystery.
If we can just get a replay of Zelsis' reaction on the webcam.
It was
might give us some clues.
Well, see if producer Kevin is on our side or not. You know,
it's unfortunate. I mean, if it did fully disconnect, obviously you need to get that sorted before the next, but not in a situation that, I guess, altered the outcome of that round regardless.
I still feel like this game hasn't settled into a flow yet, or a rhythm, you know what I mean? It's still in that very much just kind of high octane, very pressure point plays. See the...
But a few rounds to get the crowd on their feet already.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no surprise to see Mini Boo leading in terms of numbers here.
Oh, producer Kevin's on it. I don't think the mouse was doing too well after that one. All good though, the pause has come to conclusion, so hopefully no harm, no foul, but the only thing that is really rather harmed here is the economy. Sentinels.
Yeah, suffering now.
Yeah, not going to get much for that, and this could be the knock-on effect of a string of rounds here, but I mean, hey, they've turned stranger things, you know, other rounds have gone the way it shouldn't, so, and there's always threat. I don't think anyone's ever going to say that Sentinels isn't a dangerous team no matter what, so let's just kind of keep in mind that there could be problems, but beyond that, Heretics just going to be getting the lay of the land more than anything. Settle into this matchup. Some very young, inexperienced players to this level of stage gonna start feeling out the game here.
Sure, and you could almost call it a 50-50 with how the sixth man plays into that, but
yeah, true.
Especially if there are any nerves, if you have the crowd behind you making plays the way Miniboo's certainly kicked this off.
Yeah.
Definitely a positive. The ability to ride that wave. Well, Sentinel's got a bit of a stack set up here. The back of the paranoia potentially. Sassy jump spotting here. Bait the binner might even be the green light to make something happen, but paranoia thrown out.
No one could quite close the gap to that paranoia. A bit of a shame almost. That caught 3. That could have been lovely, but able to make as much as they'd want of it. But I like the attempt there, though.
I think they've noted here just how many bodies on the back of that exchange are positioned towards A site. We're going to try and find some space, and he has done that with the pass lane.
Yep, maybe going for that plant, gets denied, and now it gets a little bit scary, right? They're flying in, but the rifle's going to do what they need to. Zelsis still keeping it close enough.
He's got another one, he's got 3!
How the hell is Zelsis still finding this? Investing the ult now, they're actually giving this one. 13 seconds, they need a plant, and look at this positioning off the back of the ult. They don't hear it, but boo! Turns in time, and now it's down to 1. I told you they could get scary no matter the buy, but bloody hell. Zelsis made a damn good go of that one.
Obviously fixed that mouse problem.
Oh, yeah.
Straight into the thick of things here on this B site execute. The Heretics able to stabilize. And got to feel the pinch too much in terms of the funds on the back of that. Oh, I mean, that was the one. Yeah, Patitech just gets absolutely deleted. That's Heretics now a 2-round lead. Sentinels backing with a purchase. Delta's once again on the Odin. I haven't seen any intent from Sentinels to try and contest this area towards Mount. Patitech will get the pit online here.
You should run.
So with the lockdown heroes, well, they might even just force their way onto C site.
I'm looking to see if there was a lurk or something on top of this. I would have quite liked to see maybe some presence through B, but I mean, why not focus on the task at hand? They've got to make a quick escape here because look at Miniboo, he's on the way. 2 players are detained and Miniboo is hot on the heels.
That
he wants to pressure this. The stun is beautiful! Outstanding! And so is Miniboo, and he ain't alone anymore! He's got Boo by his side! The brothers in arms, ripping apart Sen. Tense answers back, but by now the plant is in. It's 3 of them to take this back and the pit's in place.
So much damage done here. Sentinels as 3 have to fight their way back through this pit now. Plenty of utility still at disposal of Heretics as well. Considering it, I'm not even sure actually if Sassy was looking like he was backing away. Certainly now with 10s falling, you have to consider the possibility, and looks like that's going to be the decision for Sentinels.
Yep, creeping away.
Poor timing there, Zekken missed that, yeah? I thought he was standing back for a second.
Same. And I wonder if they noted it, because they're committing. They absolutely saw a pixel, or at least predicted that play kind of falling back through CT. Not a surprise, but Sassy's in danger because that economy hasn't fully recovered. Miniboo's barely breathing, but willing to try and opt himself up for the trade, which they get. Clean sweeping Sentinels there. No weapons taken over. And they might start getting a little bit worried now because their economy is not fully recovering here. They have a couple of ults nearby. That could help them out, but it's 3 on the trot here. Heretics going to be happy with this one.
I mean, this is just so beautiful for Miniboo and Boo. Said throwing everything into the back lines on the back of the lockdown and rewarded for that aggression as well. I think Sentinel's completely caught off guard by the stuns coming through from Miniboo.
Oh, the spam. That could be a damage. Yeah, it is. Miniboo's still on it as well. The guy's got moves, looking like Foon out here, but he's still breathing and still fine. Settles into it.
And this was the first time we've seen 10s over towards Mound. So some intention of Sentinels addressing elsewhere, the other extremity, but Heretics, I'll be honest, winning out on both sides. The stars aligning for them this time around. And enough damage done on the way in that Zekken falls. John QT down to 15 HP. I mean, even Sassy tagged up as well.
That spam is just so brutal to try and play against. And they got this done early. That's the scary part as well. Looking like they're trying to feign this B pressure, which is actually causing a great deal of reaction. 4 players in response to this.
I mean, that should be an open A site now.
Absolutely.
With all of this dumped into B. Sassy's not going to be able to get ahead of this either.
And they have no idea how far they've gotten. You can see the TP taken to check back site. They got what they wanted. Perfect fake play towards B. not able to use the ult as wanted yet for Miniboo. But the plant's in. They've really got that good. Now, ult-wise, Zellsis does have the lockdown. Sassy with a touch of kit left, Tens as well, because he was adjusted over towards that C site on Mound. But if they want this retake, they've got to get it started soon. Ten's going to post the Paranoia, TP taken back towards Tree, and Patatek waiting. Miniboo turns for a second, but his re-ends there. There's no threat to this. Sentinels are hitting a brick wall, and it's Heretics putting it there. Sassy again just wants to be able to get out with a gun, and once again denied. Miniboo is hunting them down. This is a whole new world for Sen to try and deal with. Heretics are the real deal here. John QT, Benji Fishy, he's right there as well. No guns taken over again. Flawless from Heretics.
They're feeling themselves. You can see as well the confidence is brimming. Nobody giving up any space on site. Two members of Heretics tucked under rope. All the way down towards drop as well. Sentinels, unfortunately, need to try and take control of this early, the early round. Take some of this control away from Heretics, because like I said, they have control of both extremities now. They have the run of the map.
I'm surprised I didn't see a timeout, if I'm honest here, because getting a bit worried when it was kind of like 2-3 rounds on the trot with the money where it was.
But now we're seeing it, look.
Yeah. Trying to really commit towards this, but they don't have a great deal to work with. This is with Sheriffs, this is with Buckies, this is with the Spike left in their hands. So, have you ever seen a fight here with this many players?
Nope.
Right, well.
And all I'm saying is Zekken has a Bucky and he's one away from Showstopper. If he gets a kill down and dirty in this smoke, Ians finds one. Going to clear it out with his ult as well, potentially here as well.
They've made a mountain out of a molehill, haven't they? They've really made them work for this one. Now the smoke drops and the problems begin. Paranoia's going to go. That Bucky doesn't get played in. Miniboo going to feel the pressure. It's online. Here it is. The rocket comes out. Does not get what they want, but they've been doing damage. Great shot from Boo. Second on his knees. A follow-up not found. Sentinel's getting down and dirty here. They want to make this brutal, but they nabbed the spike. Patatek needs to hold the back line. He's got to be careful. They are so close by, but they backed away. Plant will be coming in now. They've got rifles, they've got all sorts now, Sentinels. What a play from them.
I mean, look at the utility though. Patatek and Benji have everything at their disposal to try and hold this down, but the lockdown's coming through from Zellsis.
Massive timing on these ults coming in. Zekkens, sure, but Bucky was the key part of that, but Zellsis now is going to force the hand of Heretics. Oh, but they go in early. Benji Fishy will get caught, so he plays in Patatek. He has to be the one. Plant not to be touched just yet. They're going to hear this, and that was a bit too far forward from Sassy.
He ordered round, yeah.
Thought they could have worked together, but Sassy still alive. Maybe he's the one, but time is not on his side here. A tap on the spike. Vulnerable, yes. He's going to deal with the utility, but he's got to deal with the spike. He's going to be taken down here. Benji Fishy playing forward. He's got it away. The timing.
And a beautiful bait and switch between Benji and Patatek as well. Patatek wraps all the way through spawn. Knows that somebody's going to try and charge down. As Benji dips his toes, finds a kill ahead of that lockdown. What a recovery. What an insane round.
Hey, look, I said it was mayhem in Madrid. This is just madness in Madrid now. It's all out the window. This is something different. What a wild matchup we're getting here. Heretics bringing out all the stops. We're seeing crazy plays from Sentinels. Some very creative ideas, and it was close. That round was goddamn close, and they had a Bucky and a couple of Sheriffs. Now they go back in with rifles. Still putting a lot of attention on towards this mound control.
A string of rounds unanswered. Heretics now looking to slow things down, reading that maybe on the previous, Sentinels feel as if they need to take some of the map. Zellsis now positioned over here towards A site with his utility. 4 members of Heretics with Benji. Last straggler. Walking into the blender here.
Who's he dealt with? Gonna have John QT close by. Oh, he does catch a little bit of that spam, but so does Boo on the other side. But he's got to be careful here. He does need to be holding this down as long as possible. Again, still being forced further away. Backside now, it's methodical.
He's got to get out now. The thrash coming through. It's going to clear a ton of space for Heretics. Be able to retrieve that as well. Be a comfortable plant coming through, but a full 5v5.
Oh, that positioning! Great work from Zelsis. Stuck around long enough, he might be just walking into his death now, but the value is huge. Now they're going to get in their faces, surely. Maybe not. Oh, Second's nade's going to do it. And now it's just getting ridiculous. Still no plant, but SEN apply the pressure, pouring back towards the site. And that time becomes a problem for Heretics. They can't find stability here. Sentinels turning the round on its head.
Zelsis is repositioned out to drop here as well. Like I said, it should have been a safe plant. I mean, Heretics try and, I guess, capitalize on that much control and that much pressure by planting a little more open, maybe create some more opportunities. Unfortunately, Miniboo just, it's a little lost in the sauce here with all this utility exchanging.
Nice, boys.
Catches the back end of the paint shell. Sentinels a third on the board here.
Can they string it together though, Mike? I'm still waiting with bated breath on that one. Early contact towards B. Pressure towards Mound could mean a quick crunch. And John QT just want to buy time. You can see Miniboo's ahead of it, and look at that pace. The man is absolutely wild, but Tens has answered back, and in kind, 3 for him. Leaving Heretics in ruins. Miniboo barely alive on 16. Boo standing tall, but a tough position to be in with the spike so deep in enemy territory. And SEN shouldn't give up an inch here. Don't think there's much Boo can do about this, really quite pinned in.
Zekken will be the first. Looking for this flank here. Boo's ready for it. Just can't pin him down. 16 HP now for Miniboo. And Sentinels identifying here as an opportunity to take some control back. And with Zekken and Tens positioned on Mound here, the backstab through the door, perfectly timed ahead of this B-side execute.
They're recovering. This is what they needed. A very, very important couple of rounds there, too, for them to leverage just a little. And there it is, yeah.
I didn't know. I came through with 2 wall bangs through the box.
Take them when you get them, don't you?
Yeah.
This was the final. Yeah, lovely. And no matter how you get them, SEN needed a couple of rounds here. Money's still okay, at least for this round for Heretics, so not much of a problem. Alt-wise, not a great deal online. Patatex, yes, the rest, no. Are they willing to fight this out? Paranoia goes in. It doesn't affect Zekken, so he does get to strike. That's Benchy Fishy gone. That post-plant could get a little trickier if they make it through. And Heretics fighting for mound control themselves here.
1 for 1. Give Heretics a chance to recoup here. Zekken actually has himself an operator to play with now as well. Swing onto this, but almost a setup there for a high-low swing. Miniboo the one to find the headshot. Now man advantage here for Heretics. Sassy ult in hand. Patitech does have a Viper's Pit, so opportunities to really secure a post plant here. Heretics decide to continue. It looks as if, yeah, John QT's giving this all the way up.
Having to sit deep on this though, hasn't he? He can't take a challenge, maybe just trying to keep control of CT for the play back in. The rotates are far away. You can see how hyper aware each team is of each other. Smoke goes up deep. Pit's already there. That's 4 players to find. Sassy does have his ult. He's got a lot of util left to invest.
Everyone but Rians, actually.
This is big. Can they make the most of it? Yes, Sassy does very well to find Miniboo. That's the first step. Panitic is still in this ult, though, and he's in a lot of danger, actually. You can see this.
You can slow this down still.
There it is. Buy some time, and Boo just waiting. Anything that appears on the screen, he wants to remove it. Oh, he's getting tagged up here. This is so precarious, so dangerous. And Zelsis takes him down. Panitek! That's what they needed. And that's what they get. They finish with a flourish here in the first half. Heretics making a statement here, Mike. 8-4 in the lead.
Yeah, they come out swinging. So any questions about the confidence definitely squashed here in this first half. Sentinels able to make it at least an honest go with things here, but a string of rounds unanswered. Be loving that if you're a Heretics fan.
And at this point, I think if you're a Valorant fan, you're probably pretty happy too.
Definitely,
this is an explosive game we all wanted. This caliber, this quality is what we've been looking for. The resurgence from Sentinels means they're still in this half. There is still a solid chance for them here, but they have to get off to a banging beginning in the second.
What a terrific start it is for Team Heretics here. And I managed to sneak myself into the streaming booth to join Mixwell. How exciting is it to see your team compete on this stage in Spain, of all places?
I mean, so far we're playing really well and the crowd is insane. Hola a todos! Hey! I love it here. I love it. It's a dream come true. There was talks that maybe VCT was gonna come to Spain, and in the end it was in Berlin. So I'm super happy that finally we have an international event here.
Yeah, it's very special to have a Spanish team make it as well.
I was not expecting it to qualify, but we beat everybody. We played so well during kickoff, and now we're also playing super good. And thank God Rians came yesterday.
Yeah, it's really nice to see him on stage. Now, I want to roll the years back real quick, because you've played against Tens before. You faced Sentinels. How do you stop a player like him?
I think you need to not let him have the space that he needs. He's a super skilled player, and you always have to be aware of what he could do. Really aggressive. So as long as we keep him, as long as we trade him, we're good. Because when players are so good as him, you can always die first, but you need to trade him always.
Just take him down. And lastly, any words for the Spanish crowd one more time?
Chicos, lo estáis haciendo genial. Haced mucho ruido, vamos!
Woo! Well, let's see if Heretics can close it out in front of this electric crowd.
Thank you. Great to hear from Mixwell there.
Always is.
You know, it has been a great first half. I mean, the scoreline, you'd be forgiven to think it was a bit more one-sided, but how explosive was that?
I mean, I'll be honest, one of the most exciting starts we can have to this series as well, with Sunset to follow up. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we do.
Why have you reminded me?
But this is exactly what you want out of these two teams. See what Sentinels now have to respond in the second half. They may be caught off guard a little bit in the first. You got to imagine Heretics are going to continue to be proactive, dial into this pace once again.
Patient beginning, though, coming out from
Very, yeah.
Very slow, steady. Shown a little, obviously, off the back of that Dizzy, which is going to be drawing 3 players to be posted towards that C site. Already Minibu may be considering the others, but as it stands, very patient.
Spike this side with Zelsis. 3 players of Sentinels looking to at least show presence towards Rubble, but I mean, the fact that Benji's solo over there, he's not going to be peeking. He's not really going to be looking for any information. Very much looking to absorb any sort of pressure that does come his way, but Minibu has come across to give him some support.
There's the first contact.
That's a ton. That could actually pull the rotation. I think it's about to. Look at Rins and Patitek right now.
Lovely fake play here from Sentinels. Now, Boo's seen enough that he should be calling someone back. There's been no further contact. There's still the utility there.
Sentinels haven't got in, though, and it's 30 seconds.
Is this a pivot? I mean, they're trying to feign a pivot, but still, they're leaving this very late. Now, fortunately for them, they have got sight. You can already see the respect shown from Boo that it's not worth dying on your own to hold this, so he's drifted back towards CT. They're grouping up already. Plant is in, but 5v5 post-plant. Who's got Kit? Who's got util? Zekken has the boom bot. You got Sassy. But on the other side, a fair bit still to play with Heretics. They've held on to theirs. So maybe Zekken willing to challenge on this, but he's got to be good for it. And oh, he is. He's bloody great for it. Zekken, good for 2. The answer comes in. Bazelt is still standing. Sassy on the back lines, leaving Boo just the only man standing in a 1v3. And yeah, that one's been handled. Sentinels, lovely composure here on the first and the second.
I feel like Heretics are ahead of that, but I think just too many question marks planted by Sentinels. The misdirection with the door as well. You can see the pings coming out even after the plant is confirmed on C. They're so conscious of potentially, I mean, any number of these 3 players that were spotted outside Rubble being in position to backstab, but no matter regardless, came down to the gunfights on the way back through, and Sentinels stand strong. Things within 3 rounds now in the second half.
एक डीगल दिया वाइपर क्यों डीगल लेते हैं यार सारे
SEN certainly applied the pressure in the first half doing this sort of stuff, but don't know if Heretics have it the same way. But let's see. John QT very much aware of the possibility, sitting quite deep, just shouldering the angle. While the rest of Sentinels kind of showing a lot of presence, being boisterous around the map. Benji Fishy very uncomfortable on that C site. Rolling in for Patitek, but again, keep in mind this is classic Ghosts, Sheriffs. This will take a lot go right for Heretics. Sentinels should be looking to keep this clean. Coming with a nice bonus, potentially. The third round of the second half. Plant should be there. Don't think any disruption to that will be in place. No. So, lovely work from SEN again. Keeping 5 standing, navigating well to the C site. Getting the plant in place.
Really about what damage Heretics can do on the way back in here. Seasonade going to go through. Boo, I don't think caught up in that, no. Second up close to personal again, but he gets flashed.
Still breathing, still standing, and still got 2 Sentinels. Very nice work. No threats really made from that. Second went down, but that's not the end of the world. They are happy enough moving forward. He's 1 away from his ult already. This is the perfect start for, again, a fantastic second half here.
Heretics can really slam the brakes on. Find a response here. 2 freebies from Zekken. That close up with the stinger. A real old progress for Heretics to fall back on. We enter round 3.
Here comes the fun. You got that leftover buy, right? The bonus here for SEN. You've got the purchase coming out for Heretics. And SEN, again, so mobile, so agile around this map.
Very active, yeah, very active.
Hard to get your players in the right place. Again, Miniboo trailing behind. He's trying to get over towards C, potentially. They've been somewhat conditioned to be believing in this C site hit, which, I mean, looks like it's on the cards.
Utility invested here. Fishy going to respect this, backs away wisely, but Patstek might get caught in the corner, and he does. Opener found here by Zekken once again. He's not done just yet. Like he was entertaining the idea of following up on the boombot there. Open plant, Sentinels can fully reset off this now. Tough egg to crack for Heretics on the way back through, once again onto C site.
This C-take has been looking unstoppable, and this would be a bonus conversion. This would be outstanding for Sentinels. Already, though, Ten's going to get a little bit of contact here. Outdone by Miniboo, but Sassy then takes the next layer of pressure as they sweep the site, Miniboo again. But how do they break that deeper post?
So much util.
Absolutely, Mike. It's very difficult to even get on the spike itself. And I think Heretics might know that. John QT, sharp as ever, and Miniboo just puts his life on the line. And this is a dream for Sentinels. Lovely string of rounds now, upgrade to the rifles. It could not have gone better.
I noted it earlier, the Sentinels placing too many question marks across the map here. Heretics almost forced to kind of play retake on all 3 sites unless they can confirm some sort of information. Need somebody to go hunting here for Heretics. Because much of what we saw in the first half, Sentinels have free run of the map right now.
Yes, they do. No solution yet for that C-take or the retake, potentially. Sheriffs aplenty, and a fight to be found. Zekken, again, this guy, his early work has been exceptional. Cracking open sites, being a real nuisance, Boo.
Good for one, yeah.
But you've got a whole lot more to find. And they are still continuing along this A pathing. Rien's, oh, man, this is not a fun spot to be in now. Oh! That's a shot! That is a goddamn shot. Any more of those? Tens, though, creeping closer. Rien's did get another one. This is getting way too close for comfort. This shouldn't have been a 2v2. But Heretics have made it nasty. Tap on the spike, calling back in Benji Fishy. They are facing on this. Great heads-up work from SEN. Keeping track of the potential. What can Benji Fishy do? A 1v2. It would be miraculous.
They're pinging out the rifle here, but I think it's been cycled across elsewhere.
He's struggling to find something. Might just have to be that Sheriff until he gets towards site, maybe backside even. How does he clear tree on this? The turret, but that's not enough. Look at that setup! Oh. Still made a go of it. Still a threat. But it's tied up now, 8-8. Sentinels, this second half is looking theirs. Lovely beginning. Yes, ult starting to hit, but Heretics pumping the brakes.
First timeout called here. Definitely going to want to try and take stock of what's gone wrong in the first few. A banging shot from Rien's to open things up.
That was wild.
Patstek, unfortunately, just forced into a corner here on drop. Unable to provide too much assistance. Let's see what the switch up is for Heretics coming out. There's 4 rounds unanswered here by Sentinels, and like I said, they have free run of the map. Same way Heretics did in the first as well. Again, without the benefit of the economy, maybe feeling a little apprehensive to put Miniboo kind of in that danger zone and look to brawl with Sentinels. Dare you say it, team you really want to be brawling with.
It is so mirrored, it feels like, after watching that first half. Like, cleaner, actually, from Sen more than anything, but still, Heretics without an answer.
I guess a little more, it feels a little more controlled from Sen versus what we saw from Heretics. There was a lot more trading, reliance on the fundamentals for Heretics, and Sentinels definitely looking a little cleaner in that regard, I guess, is the way to look at it.
Oh, very much so. Couple of ults, though, for Heretics to bring into effect in this round. Sen aren't a million miles away from theirs as well. Keep your eyes towards it there. That is very much on the horizon for them, but Heretics could try and take back some control with this. But then now the Sentinels just switch something up, right? Just play a little out of pocket here, just coming out of this timeout. Let's see what they go for. They've been determining pace here in the second.
Cover going out.
Early exchange of util will be towards that B site, but not much intention behind it.
I think Sentinel's anticipating a little bit of a switch up here in terms of aggression from Heretics. John QT on a solo mission here to plant the seed, but majority of the stack must be in C site here for Heretics. Very tempered approach. Rian's got to be careful. Don't want to see him get caught off here as the solo anchor towards A.
He's got to be playing this smart.
Again, his ultimate huge in terms of a retake as well.
They're all coming this way.
Yeah, this is looking a little dangerous for Rians.
Excellent read from Sentinels, but yeah, Rians is in a lot of danger. And again, you'd see that Prowler just sent through towards B is keeping both players very present there. Oh man, he's got to have two here. Back away with his life if he even wants a chance at this. Now he's got to be worried. He's got to be so worried. He's seen so much. He's actually made it out with his life, which if anything is incredibly impressive, and just has to try and hold towards CT, because Sentinels, you can't stop that roll. There's no way you can hold back these players here. Now has to wait for reinforcement, but this will be a plant for Sen, and once again, a very comfortable post plant.
Yeah, Zekken and John QT looking to take a ton of space up towards heaven here.
Oh, but diligent work from Heretics. This is nice, but do they get punished? No, they don't. Somehow Zekken's still here. Miniboo's gone ahead of him. This is madness. Zekken finds Rians. Miniboo still be holding this one. Beautiful work from Zekken. How is he getting away with it still? Miniboo just trying to dodge, trying to live, and he just can't. It's all on Boo now, and it is wild, and he's still kicking. 7 HP in a 1v1 out of nowhere. Oh, Sassy! Holds that, but what a ridiculous round.
I mean, how has Zekken survived that long? Again, he gets blinded up. This time, a Vandal in hand. Still finds a kill blind. Just absolutely ridiculous. What a crazy exchange up on heaven here.
Standing.
Absolute heroics from Zekken, and Boo comes back, finds these two. Unfortunately, not to get the drop inside the smoke and clutch things out. You see the heartbreak as well.
So, got to say, Zekken is on an absolute heater as well this game. You looked at his value as well of his opening kills coming into this. It looked fantastic for him. But
I mean, when he's playing like this, literally, Sentinels just resort towards let him off the leash.
Yeah, do it.
Pick a side and put him in there.
He's got his ult. He's got two potential victims. Let that man go. Let him fly. And he's away. Does he find anyone this time? It looks like he does. He can't stop winning. Finally put down by Benji Fishy, but he's granted them access to the site again. Ten's in a little bit of danger here, actually. Yeah, can't make it out. And Sassy, though, again, the backbone here. Safe hands to hold on to some of these key kills, these key rounds. And Boo's only got a Sheriff. All the devotion and desire in the world won't get him this round at this point. It actually looks, yeah, I mean, at this point, gotta say it, Sentinels, what an answer, and Boo is just playing safe. He's doing the tactical timeout without calling it just yet.
He's going to take this time, make the most of it here, try and get the team back in line. I don't even know if we're anticipating a timeout as well on top of this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
To try and maximize, but Sentinels have come back swinging in the second half.
Just be looking to just run this round out. There it is. Had his chat. Now, do we see the timeout to follow? Because they have not found a solution here to Sentinels at all.
No, I'll be honest. They've been battered in the second half. They haven't really had an opportunity to really get anything going. Economy aside, and the way that Sentinels are playing, like I said, it feels like a game of control.
Yes.
And the comparison in the second half being, Heretics have been a little apprehensive to dip their toes. Maybe you'd argue losing the first couple and being on the back foot with the economy, but there hasn't been much of a response, and it's looking like the response might be an operator in the hands of Miniboo and slowing things down. I'm not sure if that is the answer that Heretics need.
That's not going to help things, though. A missed shot like that, but now they know it's there, right? They've seen one of the cards that Heretics holds, and now what does this do to Sentinels? You can see Zellsis really chatting something through.
I mean, you arm somebody like John QT with information like that off the rip in a round. It gives them plenty of options. I mean, look at Sentinels and X-Ray here. They're waiting to see if there's any further aggression. Miniboo's already preemptively rotated away.
Maybe expecting
Boo's going to have it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Anticipating. We've shown the operator here. They're going to try and hit towards B or C, but...
No one's rotating either, Mike.
Nope.
They think this is a fake.
Yep.
Sentinels,
well,
why would they show you respect?
Exactly. They've had the run of the map. They've been able to plant these question marks time and time again.
This actually might work out. By hook or by crook, this might work out.
A miracle for Heretics. They're trying to dig out the lurk now.
Yeah, that's what their intent would be. Patatek and Benji Fishy looking for John QT, but now there's going to be a bigger surprise. They found Sassy, and Miniboo's in the right place. They've almost stumbled across the solution to what was going on here. Oh, great work from Miniboo. Ten's trying to get ahead of the curve, and that's a spike lost now. Hard work here for Zellsis and John QT to bring this back. Can they evade the eagle eyes of Miniboo?
Got a lockdown to work with as well, so if they can find a kill and feel comfortable enough, they could secure the site for a little longer, but Zellsis goes exploring. Miniboo happy to take that one.
1v4? That's a lot. Find a position to work from. Plan's fine for him here, but there's problems. But he's taking down the first one. Benji Fishy falls. He needs another couple. Paranoia evaded. He's still standing. This is good, but he needs to be able to deal with the diffuser, and he can't quite do it just yet. The spam's not landing, and he knows it. Great damage, but it's not enough there. Heretics just about tipping this one back in their hands. And it felt like Sentinels walked into that rather than evading it.
They didn't save across the operator either. I'm not sure if somebody was scrambling to pick it up at the end there, but yeah, I gotta say, it almost feels like the stars aligned for Heretics here to be in a position. Sentinels feel like they've done so much in terms of, I guess, pumping this fake, creating a little bit of pressure. Heretics, I guess, stick to their guns in terms of what they commit to. Over towards A.
But it could still be a flash of the pan, right? That C site take was still not fixed. And Zekken back on this pace. TP this time is committed to. Tens is there. What a horrible predicament for Heretics. You got Zekken in the front, Tens in the back, and there's nowhere to hide. Zekken on the hunt, you can see it, Patatek back to the wall. They're surrounded. They're still trying to fight their way out. Benji Fishy can only stay alive for so long. That was such a well-constructed site take from Sentinels. Again, flexing their capability here. Miniboo has found John QT, so this isn't completely free. It's not completely safe. Ten's the one to be holding them. Deep smoke towards CT to try and secure some of this. Desperate to avoid the stun, but still catches it. Dips away, but this time, can the
Spike's finally coming down.
I thought he already went down.
No, I was watching for a second there. Sassy waiting out everything. Riens has actually found Tens.
Oh, that's not good. But Zellsis still breathing. Sassy as well. Sassy has been good in these. But it's Miniboo and Riens. You saw that aim from Riens. You've seen Miniboo's impact. But these two are nasty. Hard to play against. They're both in that corner. How do you clear this? Miniboo dives on in. Oh, it's lovely work again from Sassy. Finding two. The rock of the team here. Getting them up to 11. Sentinels looking large and back in charge here.
And this suffocating execute on the C side, the paranoia and the nightfall covering everything here. But it takes Sentinels, well, it feels like a decade to get the spike down. So paranoid of maybe a pre-take coming back through from the remaining members of Heretics, but able to course correct here. And Sassy to close things out. That's got to feel like a sigh of relief, though, for Sentinels to get that one across the line.
Got close there, didn't it?
Up to 11 now, Heretics.
On the ropes.
Yeah, I think that's why we see the second time and a continuation of boot. from that previous round. So the only one round, a flash in the pan for Heretics in the second half here to really pin their hopes to. Not going to have the finances here, so looking like they have to almost concede towards map point. Miniboo won off his ultimate. Boo, Patitech and Benji all with theirs. Some options here, but again, the purchase is not going to be pretty. Throw everything but the kitchen sink into this one.
Wow. I'm looking at that purchase and it's still not getting better, is it? Kitchen sink included. There's just not much to write home about.
I think they're actually dialing it back a little bit.
Yeah, I think they might have to suffer through this
I
one.
think that, yeah, they are going to concede here.
They'll make a go of it. Obviously, it's not going to be a freebie, but it's certainly not going to be everything they want me to do. Just okay, that's
how you make your Guardian work.
Yeah, and that's Zekengon, who has been so
protagonist,
paramount.
yeah.
He has been paramount to some of the success Sentinels has early in these rounds as well. So it'll be interesting to see now with him taken away so early on, what do they lean back to? Do they continue along this pathing towards B?
It's so late in this half to see Heretics get aggressive like that.
I know. You'd almost wanted them to try it earlier, didn't you? But
I mean, the response is Sentinels have walked in all the way into B, but they found Benji Fishy elsewhere. Sassy will fall. Zelsis quick with the trade, but should get the plant down here. No, still for a little misdirection here, baiting out potentially anybody from Heretics. John QT able to slow this down with a snake bite.
Very valuable, that. Oh!
But the smoke drops, Boo finds him.
Boo could not have found that at a better time. That unleashes the rest of his side to come on through. He gets forced out. But still, where's the rest of the three? Where are the others coming in from? Now they come through tens. Can't hold it. And now it's on Zelsis. 1v2. Oh, Zelsis! That's his round.
Line up over here.
Even with the finest of margins, Sen don't let them have a moment of rest.
I mean, it's such a beautiful read as well. The call to just shift walk up behind that first blood. Ballsy, but Benji Fishy the only one really to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
And that kill was ridiculous. I saw Zelsis got caught by the paranoia. I didn't know if it was slightly off time, but finds that first headshot completely blind.
This is the round the Heretics were waiting on. Very late in the day, plenty of ults to play with. It looks like Heretics up for the brawl, up for the fight. And second, though, is normally good for this. It's Tens this time going to take the headline. Boo goes down. Sentinels in control here. This is their map choice, and they've just suddenly made it look like it on this second half. Rien's, Benji Fishy, and Patitech. I mean, you just had to watch your team get massacred on that little bit of aggression they've been dabbling with, and it's so early in the round.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sentinel's another situation. Benji Fishy going to be the one to try and stop things once again. He's unchecked with a utility. Could play him in here, but there's a ton of bodies on the other side of this. Unfortunately, somebody's going to turn for that alarm bot as well.
Yeah, almost counterintuitive. Okay, that's helped him out. And the lineup, I thought he could have two. He doesn't in the end. Patitech gets pushed aside. And once again, Sentinel's just taking the tour of the map. Hitting just about every site they want to. And this has been their stronghold. This C site has been theirs.
This has been the definition of running rings round a team. This second half from Sentinel, so much misdirection. Heretics unable to find a grasp on the plan in time. Just 36 HP now for Rians.
A tough task here. First map is wrapped. Sentinels back on the international stage, looking exceedingly strong. That second half, Mike, is something to be very impressed by.
I was a little worried in the first.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, Heretics definitely come out swinging, but what a response in kind from Sentinels. Miniboo and Zekken definitely the headliners here in this map one.
13-9 is map one. Who knows where Sunset goes? But do stick around.
$141K Tariq bhai kya what?
Big if true. Okay, listen, I know you guys have talked your ears off at this point, but this is a great time to bring it up. Okay? It's a great time to bring it up. Okay?
Yeah, might be.
Since everyone is already buying the Sentinels Classic, you might as well submit your clip.
I think I'm down for like a third map here.
I'm down for like a good match.
Yeah.
Look. You're gonna buy the bundle anyway. You might as well submit your clip for a chance to win. For a chance to win a new PC and a trip to LA. Or a champion jacket and a Sentinels jersey. Top 50 get prizes. You might as well. God. These guys are sick. These guys are sickening.
I don't wanna, they working my nerves. I'm about to pause to serve. Fucking this bitch like a perm. Smack on the back of a perm. Ice, the bird. Shitting on all you little turds. Can't take that dick, wait your turn. In my own lane, we can't merge. So with no hands, you can learn. Let's see how much you can earn.
Submit your clip.
Why me go big like the worm?
मैं कर दूँ.
I'm in the big with P-Litty. QP.
Yo, wait. Chat. Tens should submit his clip. Bro, Tens should submit his clip, dude. Or
बाद में देखेंगे बाकी का.